Kane Show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. We got a lot to cover today. If you're on hold, hang in there. It's Friday already, which means Friday is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. So on today's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics and the subjects and the stories that I bring up. The show prep is up to you guys, but there are some things I am going to bring up. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll get to the things I want to get to, and a couple of them at least, and then we'll go to the calls in just a bit. President Trump is back, right? Daddy's home, and he came up with such a great thing, this nuclear option, and it's about time, you know, this nuclear option. And for those of you out there that are the liberally impaired, you know, that are in the audience that don't understand these things, they have this filibuster in the Senate, and on certain things you have to have, like this on the budget, this continue, you know, that you have to have a super majority. You have to have a 60 vote majority, not a 51 vote majority. And the Democrats have used the nuclear option. Schumer's used it. They've used it multiple times on different things, and they don't mind using it at all. And President Trump says that the Republicans in the Senate need to use the nuclear option. We got the 51 votes easily and pass this. And I hope that is what happens. I just want to say before we get into the nitty-gritty of all this, that I'm not one of those people out there that makes fun of those that are receiving EBT, food stamps, SNAP benefits, whatever it is you want to call it. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of very overweight people that are obviously gaming the system. We've seen the videos online and we know that. But what I mean is, if I did this, I'm not into doing disclaimers, but I want to do it for this. Because there's a lot of people out there that are receiving SNAP benefits, EBT benefits, food stamp benefits that are deserving of them. Not everyone are these people that know how to scam the system, although many millions of them are. And I don't want anyone who is in need, who's receiving such benefits, to think that any of us in the MAGA movement are talking about you, okay? Because we're not. But this is the reality, is that people that are deserving and in need of the SNAP benefits, okay, they don't have food in their house right now, many of them, maybe even most of them. And a lot of them have children. And here in Florida, where we have the oldest population in the country, many of them are elderly. And I don't want to see anyone out there that is in need think we're talking about you, because we're not. But you can see there's many millions of overweight people, it seems, for the most part, but there's many millions of people out there who are getting these benefits that should not be getting them. And that's who we're directing our frustration for. But anyway, if President Trump's order is followed, and I hope that it is, he's the boss, came back from Asia and he gave an order, use the nuclear option, get this budget through so that people will get their SNAP benefits. All right? That because there are people that need them. And many of them are senior citizens. And I know some in this audience probably too, okay? That are on fixed incomes. And then we can move into doing things to get these bums off. First off, all these people out there that made all of these videos that are talking about how they're receiving $4,000 a month in SNAP benefits and they're going to go rob stores. I hope they find out who they are and take their benefits away. We got to crack down on this. There's like 40 million Americans on SNAP benefits. This is insane and ridiculous, and they need to clean the rolls of that and make these people go out and work. One thing that's been talked about for many, many years since I've been doing this is drug testing. People that receive SNAP benefits should be required to take drug tests. And if you got enough money for your drugs, you don't need the SNAP benefits. Get off whatever it is you're on. I mean, there's other things too. But if they come in with the nuclear option, which means we just need the 51 vote majority to pass it, I want you to think about what Trump's doing here. This is absolutely amazing. He would win over, how many people are Democrats who are deserving of SNAP benefits that would be very grateful. You know, some of these people have children and they have no food in their house. And we're all hearing the stories that the food banks are low because people have been going to them more so in anticipation of a rush to the food banks over the weekend. And no one should go hungry in America. Yeah, we can drug test Congress too. Yeah, we can drug test Congress. I remember when you know those drug tests that you can buy like at Walgreens and stuff now, when those were new. When those were new, I remember we were on the air in Miami at the time, and we were in one of those big mega complexes with like 8 or 10 radio stations, and I had this great idea for a show where we, you know, all of us would take drug tests, all the on-air staff would take drug tests. You should have seen people freaking out. Oh no, can't do that. I don't know, why not? I'll pee in anything you want me to pee in right now. Test me right now. But I guess I was the only guy that was clean because people were freaking out. But yeah, drug testing for before you get food stamps, drug testing members of Congress. I support all of that. And we can even drug test first families, right? That's right. That's right. How do you think the Bidens would have done on that? Absolutely. But if they come in with the nuclear option, and the SNAP benefits are paid, what a hero President Trump will be to the millions that are deserving, not the con people, but the ones that are deserving. And a whole new demographic will be magnetized and red-pilled on the spot. It's like, you know, in these high-crime blue cities, they're praising Trump now. Like they have arrested nearly 2,000 in Memphis. This story, I was talking with Steve about this a few days ago. You know, Memphis is a blue city in a red state, and the Democrats were saying, well, why don't you send them into red states? So President Trump sent in the feds and the National Guard into Memphis, Tennessee, which was a high crime area. It's been cleaned up. Almost 2,000 arrests are made. People are posting online about how safe it is for them to walk around for the first time like in years. News isn't even covering it. But people are being red-pilled by President Trump, ridding these blue cities of crime. You don't think they're grateful in Portland that they just threw Antifa out? Of course they are. Now think about it. If they come in with the nuclear option and President Trump gets everybody their food stamps this weekend, he's a hero again. And I hope it plays out that way. Don't you? All right. Our number is toll-free if you'd like to call in. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. And I want to remind everyone, hey, this is a great time to do your Christmas shopping. I know today is Halloween, but tomorrow is November. Start your Christmas shopping, guys. Go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, for huge savings. The free shipping offer is still in place. There's incredible discounts going on. And these specials, I don't know how long they're going to be there because they're going to update everything for Christmas soon. And once they do that, some of these may disappear. I don't know. But go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and load up. This is a good time to do that. And let's see here. Let me look at this. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Just checking out. Okay. So if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. It is open phones. Open. MAGA. Mike Friday. Anything and everything on your mind is fair game. I've got a lot of things I'm going to bring up today, but the show prep's up to you all. I want to try to squeeze in my topics and stories in between yours. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Joe with Brian Craig.
Okay. If you're on hold, hang in there. The phones are ringing. Yeah, and remember, guys, this is the last day of the month, so I'm going to find out Monday if My Pillow is going to continue sponsoring the expansion, which is the early show that I do when I'm at my studio, my afternoon show, and everything else. Monday is my meeting, so go to mypillow.com today. It's the last day of the month, and load up promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. All right, very important.
The line. Call Debbie right now at 954-753-8080. That's 954 area.
We'll be back shortly.
753-8080. Be sure to mention that Steve Kane sent you.
Hello, this is Mike.
This is the last commercial.
I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show back. You know, I was just over at Friendly Tire in Margate yesterday, and you know what I saw there? A Maserati. I was like, what a cool car that was. I've seen them on the road before, but I never got to see inside one like this. But it just goes to tell you, you know, it goes to show you, no matter what, people with all kinds of cars go to Friendly Tire in Margate. Yeah, it was a beautiful Maserati, too. 954-977-9445. Give Friendly Tire a call, 954-977-9445. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Do yourself a favor. Never buy a Maserati, because out of all the Italian cars, that's one of the worst.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
No, I know it does. I want to bring a couple things up here. Okay. I used to agree with you 100% about the people getting the food stamps and everything else. But I don't. I believe that if you're born in the United States, and if you're going to, you know, if the Democratic Party can let 20 million people into this country from all over the world, including gangsters and every other thing, killers, rapists, murderers, whatever the hell they are, and feed them in five-star hotels, put them up for over a year. What was it, 2 years? Put them up in five-star hotels, give them all the food they want. Matter of fact, actually cook them their native food, whatever they eat, that's what they're going to get, because they didn't like the regular everyday dinners that they were offered in these five-star hotels. And all the money that we spent as taxpayers to do this with the Democratic Party, okay, putting this crap up, then I think everybody should be able to get food stamps.
Yeah, why not? You know, in other countries, you know, because a lot of friends of mine, some friends of mine from time to time, they get these idiotic ideas that they want to retire in another country because it's so cheap, right? You know, and when anybody I know that does that, they end up coming back. But in a lot of other countries, like Costa Rica and even in Asian countries, before you can move there as an American, you have to prove that you can support yourself without relying on them, with health insurance, with money, everything else, you know, and you know, even in the Catholic Church, and I'm Catholic, even in the Catholic Church, they have an age cutoff to become a priest because they don't want people using the church as like a welfare thing. It's only here where we do that.
Yeah, the other thing is, the other thing I want to bring up is how they destroyed with the hotels and the food to all these people and the border. I want to bring up the fact that Obamacare, which they say the Affordable Care Act, is not affordable, and it's another scam. They want President Trump to bail them out because the premiums are out of the...
Well, what happened with the insurance companies, okay, because, you know, I knew, this was unbelievable. You know, what happened with this is what we learned when Obamacare, I did not realize this, but the healthcare industry at the time, it may be bigger now, right? It was 20% of the U.S. economy was the healthcare industry. And the insurance companies got all excited because Obama was passing a federal law requiring them to buy their product. I mean, imagine this, you know, we were talking about the Maserati. Imagine the federal government passed a law mandating that everybody buy a Maserati. That's what was going on. And they were so excited and yeah, exactly. They were so excited and high-fiving each other, these insurance execs. Now they got their... All right, Richie, appreciate the call. Good points are made. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me. I'll call from California.
Hey, California. What's on your mind?
Not much. I just want to say, like first thing is...
Oh, here we go. Nobody deserves what? Nobody deserves what?
Nobody deserves anything in this life. You got to work for what you got. Second is you don't ever rely on anybody but yourself.
Oh, okay.
The food stamp, the SNAP goes, you know, like I feel like, you know, like you have to put into Social Security or anything before you deserve anything. You can't just get shit for free.
Okay, all right. First dump of the day. Oh, my goodness. We got through second call. We almost broke our record. I'm not telling anybody what the record is for the dumps. Did you check the delay, Mike? Yeah, I saw it's on. Don't worry. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. First dump of the day. We almost broke our record earlier this week for the most dumps in a single show. But we didn't. We didn't even tie it, but we were getting close. I'm not going to tell you guys what the record is because I don't need a competition for that. All right, if you're on hold, stand by while we wait for the delay to re-engage. Oh, yeah, I wanted to play this clip here. Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris. Oh, let me pull this up. Okay, good. Here's Kamala Harris. She's doing all kinds of interviews. Yeah, she should really just check herself into Betty Ford, but she's doing a lot of interviews. And listen to this. And you know, one thing about Kamala Harris, I know sometimes people say she's got the mind of a chipmunk, but chipmunks are pretty smart. You ever see a chipmunk? They know how to do stuff. They're very smart. I wouldn't insult chipmunks by saying she's got the mind of a chipmunk, but what Kamala Harris has done in this interview is she got some privileged information. The Democrat Party are planning a move that was done years ago in Ireland. I believe it was Ireland. Yes, Ireland. And she let out of the bag something that the Democrats are trying to do. Okay, and I'll just play it and then I'll talk about it. Here's Willie Brown's girlfriend. Here she goes, Kamala Harris.
I think we should reduce voting.
Now, hold on, Mike. Why am I not hearing anything? What am I doing wrong here? Okay, hold on.
I think we should reduce voting age to 16.
Well, I guess we're not going to hear it. I don't know. I got to check it out. It was playing a minute ago. Because I did a test. Hold on.
16.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong, Mike? I don't know. Well, I'll go back to the phones and we can figure it out during the break. I'll just do the intro again. It should be working. Right? I don't hear it, right? Is it? Okay, maybe it's on my end. I'll check it during the break. Well, anyway, I won't do the whole build-up for it again when I get it fixed during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Well, it's going to be one of those days. I can tell. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, is this me?
Sounds like you.
Cool. Yeah, my name's Kevin, calling from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm calling in about the government shutdown. I'm just curious why you think that the Republicans chose to shoot down the SNAP-funded Act of 2025.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing to me. I will respond to your stupidity, but you know what's really amazing to me? What you said was just so idiotic. I mean, I'm sorry. What do you want, a participation trophy? You know what really surprises me is how many soy boys there are in Minnesota. What is it? Why are so many of you guys in Minnesota so left-wing?
Because there's a thing called Minnesota nice and Democrats are nice. So do you want to answer my question? Or?
Well, no, I am going to respond to what you said, but why are you, I'm just curious. I get so many calls from Minnesota. I'm pretty popular in Minnesota. A lot of guys call me from Minnesota, and I don't know. Why are you guys, did they give soy milk in school when you're growing up? What is it about Minnesota that makes so many guys, you got that idiot governor? You know, what is it about you men, you guys in Minnesota that makes you so left-wing?
So yeah, like I said, we have this thing called Minnesota nice. We're very nice over here.
Minnesota nice? I don't know how being a Democrat and being a liberal is being nice. I mean, as an example, if you're an unborn child, you guys want to abort them. I don't understand.
Can we talk about the 40 million Americans on SNAP now? That seems more important.
Yeah, it is a big issue. I'm watching these videos of obese people. I'm watching these videos of obese people complaining.
Bill to fund SNAP.
They didn't shut down the bill.
They did.
No, nope. No, they didn't.
What was it? What bill was it?
I don't know the name of the bill.
I told you the name, man. It's the SNAP Funded Act.
Yeah, okay. The SNAP Funded Act of 2025. Okay, well, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of people, you say 40 million. Of that 40 million, at least half of them shouldn't even be on it. They're ripping off the government.
20 million people will go hungry because this app was shut.
Well, you know, are you going to go hungry this weekend?
No, but I have this thing called Minnesota Nice where I care about...
Okay, Minnesota Nice. Okay, so why are you not going to go hungry? I'm not going to go hungry either. Why are you and I not going to go hungry this weekend?
Because I have a job.
Oh, because you have a job. Exactly. So as opposed to whining about at least 20 million by your Minnesota Nice estimates of a bunch of bums and freeloaders, I'm just not so concerned about a bunch of people that don't have jobs.
You cut out there for a minute, Brian.
No, I didn't cut out. It's just all this conservative logic interrupted your... So why do you have a job and 40 million are being fed off the government?
5 million Americans who have a job and are going to lose SNAP benefits. Is that an acceptable number?
Well, that's telling me that 35 million people are scammers.
Hey, millions of Americans will go hungry. Do you care about that?
I'm a little hungry right now. All this talk about food. Should somebody come and bring me some benefits?
You guys...
Are you getting hungry, Mike? I'm getting a little hungry. You're talking about food so much. And so I'm going hungry right now because we're talking about food.
Straight up evil is creepy.
Creepy, yes. Tell me about Minnesota Nice.
Our stupid idiot governor is doing I think it's $10 million of a one-time funding for food banks because we care about starving people and you guys don't.
Well, first of all, people don't starve in a day.
Okay, if people don't get their SNAP benefits November 1st.
Well, I don't know. I was at the post office I was at the post office the other day, and okay, there we go. Second dump of the day. I was at the post office the other day. You can buy stamps with your EBT card. Second dump of the day. We're doing good. And I learned the other day. Do you guys like chocolate? I like chocolate. You know you can buy Godiva chocolate with Snap. Did you know that? I know. You would think they would at least have to buy Hershey bars. But no, you can buy Godiva chocolate with SNAP benefits. So, you know. I just don't feel sorry for most of them. Some of them I do. There are people in this audience that are seniors or have children that are truly in need. I'm not talking about you. But I bet you, out of the 40 million that are receiving the SNAP benefits, I bet you 35 million of them are either committing fraud or just could take care of themselves and don't even know it. I bet you out of the 40 million, maybe 5 million are deserving. You think that's a good estimate? I don't know. All right, if you're on that meant, by the way, when he said he doesn't give an S, is that part of the Minnesota nice? He said he's got this Minnesota nice. That didn't sound like nice. Is that Minnesota nice, telling people you don't give an S about what they're saying? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. And, let's talk about Dr. Appleton because, it's Friday. Dr. Appleton's open on Saturdays. And even on Saturdays, walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are not necessary. So if you're in pain, go see Dr. Appleton. Most of the time, I go see Dr. Appleton. It's usually on Saturdays. But, I remember one time I went when I one of my shoulder injuries that I went in there for. I've had 3 shoulder injuries that he's treated me for. From falling off the skateboard and stuff. And I remember one time it was Friday and I was in a lot of pain and I said, I'm gonna go Saturday morning and see Dr. Appleton. And the pain was so bad, I just said, I can't take it. I got in the car and drove over there. It was pretty late in the afternoon on Friday, and I walked in and they took me right in. And it's, they would do the same for you. Dr. Appleton, he really loves what he does. Giving people their life back and ridding them of pain. Give Dr. Appleton a call. The consultation's free. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments never necessary. Take advantage of that no-charge free consultation and go talk to Dr. Appleton about how he can rid you of pain with his robotic laser away pain treatment. It works, guys. He's rid me of pain 7 times. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
So, Gen Z, they're age about 13 through 27.
From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's
They've only
#1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Lots of sunshine today in the forecast. No mention of rain. Cool, high of 76. Cooler tonight, low of 59. For the weekend, back up to the low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Lows at night.
I don't know why this isn't playing over the radio.
I think we should reduce voting age to 16. I'll tell you why. So,
I know you guys can hear it.
Gen Z.
It's playing on the computer, but you can't. Let me unplug it.
They're age about 13 through 20.
See? And then, is this not plugged in?
Oh, shit.
7.
And then you
They've
can't
only-
hear it there.
Because that's what I wanted to see. It's like a mix of this, so I don't know if it could.
Yeah. Oh well.
Seems like it's working.
Can we pull the mini up on another pot?
Let's see.
Well, that's the phone.
I might be able to switch the phone now. Let's see if that's okay. Just making sure.
Second-generation owner of Laporta Roofing. As a military veteran who served in the Army after 9/11,
it's
I
all
brought the same
pot.
dedication
Okay.
and discipline to our family
Well, I guess I'll be playing these sound bites.
Been serving our community for nearly 4 decades, and we're committed to continuing that legacy of excellence.
Try it
Our team
again.
specializes in all types of
Lean on the climate crisis.
shingles to tile, slate, metal,
They missed substantial parts of their education because of the pandemic.
HOA communities, and condo
And I played it in queue before the show started, and I could hear it.
No, it's not doing it at all.
No.
the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for a free roof inspection. Call us now
So
at
weird.
954-604-4602 or visit us at laportaroofing.com. Trust the experts who have been protecting homes like yours for generations. Again,
That speaker's working.
Yeah, so it's not that.
4602.
I think we should
That's so weird.
Let's face it, times are tough. You've worked hard for your money, and now more than ever, you need to protect your money and
Huh.
make it last. Now is the time
reduce voting.
No. Gotta come back. I don't want to mess with it too much more. But yeah, I played it in the queue before the show started.
The only thing I can think of, I know it's your computer's a lot easier. We can pull up your file from here.
It's just too much. It's too much to worry about just for a couple sound bites.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what else mine would be not working. It's so weird.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Minnesota Nice is called 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. That doesn't sound very nice. I mean, he's called, what did I say, 10 times? I just counted. 10 times. Is that nice? That's not very nice. That sucks. All right. I guess no audio sound bites today. I had a couple of really good ones I wanted to play too. Gosh darn it. I'm not done. I'm going to try to get that working. There's two in particular that are important to play.
FLA 3782 and online SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show. Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years.
All right. Minnesota Nice, I just checked. I was telling everybody during the break. Minnesota Nice, he's called 10 times in the last couple of minutes. Does that sound like nice to you? Maybe they have a different definition of nice in Minnesota. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air? Once, twice. All right. You missed your chance. All right, so let me get back into this. I had a couple of sound bites I wanted to play, and I can't get them to work, but that's okay. The show must go on. I do want to talk, though, about the clip from Kamala Harris I was going to play, even though I can't get it to play on the air for some reason. That happens. What she's talking about is lowering the voting age to 16. She's talking about, and she gave some explanation about climate change, lowering the voting age to 16. And the reason that she's talking about doing this is because they see that as the only path to win anything in the future. They're done. They had this whole scam bringing tens of millions of people through the southern border, and that's been stopped and reversed. They've lost key demographics to the Democrats. Election plans, which would be, blacks, gays, Hispanics. They've lost so many of these demos that they've taken for granted. I got a call on my podcast recently from a transgendered guy who's MAGA. I know. So Kamala is a stupid person. Right? Everybody knows this. She's not a smart person. I don't think that's something she came up with herself. I think that's something the Democrats, and she was in on some call or meeting, this is something the Democrats are actually talking about doing. And she kind of slipped out there and said it during this interview that she did. They did that, and I'm pretty sure it was Ireland that they did that, and it had a big impact on their elections. Because 16? You're talking about 18's too young to be voting. You really should not be voting until you're 40 or above, in my opinion. But, 18, that's what it is. 16. And when you're 16, let's face it, I was 16. I don't even know how I'm here today talking to you. I think about the stupid stuff I did when I was 16. Can you think about the things you did when you were 16? Now, these guys today, they don't leave their house, right? They're on Twitch all day or something. But think about the dumb things you did when you were 16, the stupid things you did, and how dumb you were at the age of 16. So what the Democrats are saying with this is that the only people that they think that they can get to vote for them are people that are young, dumb, don't have any idea what's going on, and they think they can get a new demo with the 16-year-old voters. It's really pathetic. It's really pathetic. And I hope people pick up on that today, because I do believe that's something the Democrats are thinking about, that she dropped, and she wasn't supposed to drop this. And if people talk about that today, I don't play too many sound bites or talk about Biden or Kamala. I know a lot of people do. They're both washed up has-beens, maybe never-beens. And I don't spend too much time talking about that. But this is something where she slipped. And this is their new plan, I'm telling you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. How you doing?
You know, you're right, and with that, and who knows what was in that glass that was in front of her, that tumbler that was in front. It could have been anything from tequila to wine.
Yes. I didn't see a tumbler in front of her. I didn't see that. Really, she was. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, there's. Oh, she's got like this. I wouldn't call that a tumbler. That looks. It's like a metal flask thing that they bring. That's what the real drunks have. Their own flask.
Yes, and that's the thing. Now, as far as what we're talking about, that's the title of your thing here, is the nuclear option, right? I mean, there's a reason why we were loath to use something like this until now, is because we saw what happened when the Democrats did it, with the judges, right? They used the nuclear option with the judges to get judges through, and we saw what happened with that.
Yep.
We're to the point where we have to do something. We have to get this thing. And look, I don't like CRs. I don't. But it's the best option to get to the point where we're.
Well, I don't want to get into this. You know, when people talk about continuing resolutions and different things, to me that's terminally boring. But what's going on here? If they use the nuclear option, President Trump will become the hero to millions of people that are on SNAP benefits that probably are lifelong Democrats. You know, the thing. By the way, thanks for the call, Mike. See, one of the things the Democrats have done over the years is they scare people, right? If you don't vote Democrat, you're not going to get your food stamps. If you don't vote Democrat, you're going to lose your Social Security. If you don't vote Democrat, then fill in the blank. And there are many, and if you vote for us, we'll make sure that you get your benefits. There are millions of people that are very well aware, people are pretty smart these days, that the SNAP benefits aren't going through today because of the Democrats refusing to join. They want to be able to, they're the minority, and they want to be able to run the Senate. It's not going to happen. And if they use the nuclear option, which means they just need 51 votes in the Senate to feed all these people and give them their SNAP benefits. See, don't you notice like that guy that called me, I got a call like that. I've seen them all on television. Oh, millions of people are going to starve to death if what's freaky about that when you hear this? They're talking about that in Congress. That's what they're talking about. So you don't want to talk about the millions that are going to starve? What's crazy about that? Not that many years ago, a talking point like that is all the Democrats had, and they would win because there was no new media, right? When all we had were newspapers, the network news, and one or two cable outlets, they would start some stupid talking point. Well, why are the Republicans allowing 40 million people to starve? And after a day or two of that, the Republicans would cave. See, remember I tell you, you guys don't know what it was like to be a Republican before Trump came down the escalator. One stupid talking point like that, and Newt Gingrich or whoever was the Republican of the day, a day or two would cave and apologize and give the Democrats everything they wanted. And for some reason, the Democrats still think that's going to work. And it's not. And it's not going to work for a number of reasons, okay? And a couple of them are, one, they don't have any juice anymore to try to get these stupid talking points going. It cracks me up with these seminar callers that I've been hearing with that. So that's not going to happen. And we've got strong, manly Republicans led by President Trump that aren't going to cave to some stupid thing like that. Well, millions of people are going to starve to death. You don't starve to death over the weekend. Okay? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our last break of the first hour. My name's Brian. Our number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. Remember, it is Friday, open phones, open Mega Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver.
I don't want to mess with it too much because then it just is distracting. But it should work. I mean, because I played it before the show.
It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else.
I'll tell you why.
And no pain. I recommend this guy.
So,
To me, he's the best ever.
Gen Z, their age about 13 through 20.
See right there, that's the level.
They've only known the climate crisis. They missed substantial parts of their education because of the pandemic. If they're in high school or college, especially in college, it is very likely that whatever they've chosen as their major for study may not result in an affordable wage. They've coined the term climate anxiety to describe fear of not only being able to buy a home, but that fear will be wiped out by extreme weather, but fear of having children.
I know the Q speaker.
It is expected that Gen Z will have 10 to 12 jobs in their lifetime. They are a larger number than boomers. They're a specific generation of people who are going to impact our nation and the world. And I think we must invest in them, but I think that they are rightly impatient with a lot of what is the tradition of leadership right now. And if they were able to vote, because they know everything that's happening right now is going to impact them more than anybody older than them, for the most part, in terms of how these systems work.
Real estate. I've been in business for 6 decades. People often ask me, what's the
That's
right
so
time
strange.
to buy or sell real estate? To tell you the truth, it's always the right time. You just need to have the right advice from the right advisor. You can call me anytime because I answer my phone on the first ring. My number is 954-801-7320. That's my personal cell phone number. And I answer it on the first ring every time. Please give me a call. I'm happy to answer any question that you have. My cell phone number is 954-801-7320.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your self-care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab
I just got to change up what I was going to do because I had a couple things I was going to do that I can't do now.
Our radio station, so don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test.
The connection to play the audio sound bites isn't working, so.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until
I wouldn't mess with it because I got to focus on what I'm going to do. It's just distracting me if I worry about it.
Okay, so I was trying to I tried to change it, but it wasn't showing me that.
Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
All right. We're back. I'm Brian, the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doc from Texas. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Texas?
Hey, man. I was laughing at the thumbnail. You was talking about Trump with the nuclear option. I knew he was going to do that because at this point, I'm glad he's stepping in and just get it over with. Be done with it.
Yeah, I know. You guys would like to move on from this. I mean, why should we're in charge? We've got the majority. Why not do the 50? You know, and what people will say today is, well, when the Democrats are in, they'll do it. You know, they already do it. They've done it a bunch of times.
That's just like certain things. You say, well, Trump don't do this. Trump gonna do that. You know what? If he's gonna do it and be over with.
Well, he cannot do it because he's not in charge of the Senate, but he can suggest to them that they do it, which is what he's doing. Well, they should do what he says, shouldn't they?
And no, because they should have. If they don't want to do it, they shouldn't do it. They have their own opinions.
No, in fact, they have their own opinions. Yeah, you know what they say about those. No, they should do it because he is the leader of the party, and the voters who vote Republican, that's what we want. What's the point of being in the majority if we're going to be held hostage by this crook Schumer with his $80 million fortune? How working for the government his whole life, how did he amass a fortune of $80 million? Isn't that concerning to you?
No, it's not, because I don't care.
You don't care? So if someone's... Wait a minute. Sure, it makes a difference. How do you think he made that money? Guy worked for...
At the end of the day, he going to have to answer for that.
No. You say... No. You say it doesn't affect you. Don't you understand that people like Schumer and Biden, these very powerful government people, it's bribe money. They get paid to pass legislation.
And so does Trump.
No, Trump doesn't take bribe money. Give me an example. Give me an example of him doing that. Give me an example of... No. You said Trump... Hold on. You said that Trump takes bribes. Tell me when he took a bribe.
Well, you say because it's so much. It's so much.
Well, just pick out one. Well, this is what I know. Oh, yeah.
You come up here and hello.
Hold on a second. This is what I know. Okay? Schumer, excuse me, I'm speaking. Schumer, excuse me. Stop interrupting and let me get a thought out. Schumer has worked for the government his entire life. He is worth $80 million. How do you do that on a government salary? I'd like to. Do you know him? Can you give him my number? He can call me right here. I'll take his call. I'd love to find out. Because however he did it, I'd like to be able to make $80 million. I know how Letitia James became a multimillionaire. Apparently, she's been accused of mortgage fraud.
Hello?
Hello? Huh? What?
I hear you. You keep cutting out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know.
But like I'm saying, that's just like, how do you feel about Marjorie Taylor Greene going on The View next week?
What's wrong with going on The View?
If she want to go, let her go. Y'all, in a way, I'm surprised you're not mad at her.
Why would I be mad?
Because that's where you feel. Oh, Trump is going to be mad.
No. Do you know, maybe, yeah, sure, why not? Whatever. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, when it comes down to it, every single vote, she votes with the way Trump wants her to vote. She has a 100% conservative voting record in Congress. Maybe she'll go on The View and some people will say, you know, these that watch these hags and say, wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a nice person.
Yeah, they call them hags.
Because they are.
Well, I can tell you an asshole. And you are.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. It's third dump of the day. Third dump of the day. You know what these liberals are doing? They're using that as their lifeline, right? You know, they don't like it when I say they hung up because they know they're cowards. So they say something to make me hang up on them. Profanity. If you're on hold, stand by. We got to wait for the delay to rebuild. But, you know, a couple things. I'll comment on what he said. The thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene on The View, I have no problem with her going on The View. That's awesome. I mean, I don't agree with her on Israel, but that's fine. Well, you know, she votes 100% with Trump. That's all I need. If she was voting against Trump now, then I'd have a problem. But they have the View crowd, the people that are the regular fans of those old ladies on The View, they have such terrible opinions of Marjorie Taylor Greene based on nonsense that these liberals have presented about her. And they're going to see that she, not only is she a nice lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she is, but they're going to find that they like her because she's very likable. So she could red pill a whole bunch of people, millions of people, when she's on The View. So no, that's not a problem. Now, I know the liberals are going to go around and say that we're all mad. We're not mad. Why would we be mad that she's going on The View? A lot of Republicans over the years have gone on The View. I'll tell you, the ladies on The View are very nervous. They're very nervous because they don't know. She could take them apart. You know, she could take them apart, and she might. I don't know, but no. The only people that are talking about being mad that she's on The View are liberals who are saying that the MAGA people are mad. We're not mad. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I think, Brian, I think I got you here. I'm calling from Florida. My name is Barb. And I'm just wondering why in the world the government doesn't take everything back to the commodities. My grandmother, years ago, I remember my grandma getting rice, beans, flour, and stuff like that, the basics. And that's what they got. And it was
Oh, you mean like like I remember, I never heard it spoken about like that, but I remember like the government cheese lines and stuff. And if you remember in the days of the government cheese days, yeah.
Remember Grandma getting flour, the basics. You had to cook it.
That's a great idea.
Joe, you didn't go hungry.
Yes.
People talking about going hungry. Well, I think what aggravates me more than anything, and I'm on Social Security, and I'm so you know what it is, what that's like. Anyway, when I get aggravated when I go into a store and people in front of me are using food stamps or whatever they use of their little card, that they're getting steak and I'm eating bologna.
Yeah, I know.
I want that.
Yes.
And they're dressed like Philadelphia lawyers. I've got...
and I'll tell you, people laugh at me. I hear from laugh at me. Sometimes you hear me say that I'm wearing, I've lost all this weight, so I'm wearing clothes that are like, some of them are 20 years old, right? I was wearing a pair of pants I am wearing a pair of shoes right now that are 28 years old. I'm wearing 28-year-old shoes. Now, they're not worn out, or I could go out and buy a new pair of shoes if I wanted, but why? They look good, and they're in, I could go, if I bought a new pair of shoes, I'd buy the same pair, just new. You understand what I mean? So I guess I'm a thrifty guy. Steve calls me cheap. He calls me cheap, but no, I'm just thrifty. But you're right. And the reason that they buy the steak as opposed to the bologna, or use the EBT to buy new shoes when I'm wearing 28-year-old shoes. I do have shoes that are newer, by the way, but I'm wearing Doc Martens, right? And you can't get the Doc Martens they sell now at the store are made in Thailand, and they're really cheap. And this is the made in England Doc Martens that they don't sell in stores. I got to order them from England, But anyway, so I just keep wearing the old pair. But why do you think they're buying steaks with their EBT and you're buying bologna? Why do you think that is? I know why. Let me see. What are your thoughts?
It's
because it's free. Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Government.
And well,
get by with it.
And every month they're going to get the money back. So you know what I mean? They get that EBT card recharged every month. So they don't care. They're not thinking ahead because they don't have to. The money's coming. No matter what.
Milk.
Yes.
You need it. I mean, you had to make your bread and stuff like that, which
the government cheese lines, they didn't just give cheese, like I said, they gave out groceries, and you're right. And I remember once they used to cover it on the local news all the time. The government cheese lines are open, and you'd see it on the local news all the time. Yeah, you're right. That's a good idea.
Good cheese. And
oh, was it?
Macaroni and cheese. I mean,
I don't know.
My thought, but I wish somebody out there would say.
Well, yeah, it's a good idea. I know a lot of people rip on people that are on food stamps and such, and there are so many people that are deserving and in need, and I don't want anyone who's deserving and in need to feel that they're being made fun of or live in shame. We're talking about these bums that are morbidly obese that we're seeing all over the internet, that some of them say they're getting $4,000 and more a month in EBT. I don't even know how that's possible. I guess fraud. Anyway, I got to run for the top, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back right after this.
WQAM 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM. Boca
Great.
West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Lots of sunshine today in the forecast. No mention of rain. Cool, high of 76. Cooler tonight, low of 59. For the weekend, back up to the low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Lows at night in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Increasing rain chance by Sunday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Watch for an accident jog road at Okeechobee Boulevard. An earlier crash, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard and Robbins Drive. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250, keyword West Palm traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Friday and Saturday, watch, wager, and win on the Breeders' Cup live from Del Mar at the Paddock. Don't miss dinner shows coming up November 8th. It's Beer for My Horses, the Toby Keith tribute. November 14th, Start Me Up Rolling Stones tribute. And December 12th, Chris McDonald's Memories of Elvis, Merry Christmas, Baby. Plus more. The Paddock, your best bet for OTB shows and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 giant screens. Get tickets now at bbkennelclub.com.
This is Dr. Phil Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. I've seen thousands and thousands of patients in my career. I've been a chiropractic physician for 40 years. We're open 6 days a week. If you have sciatica, you have bursitis, you have tendinitis, you're tired of taking the pills, the drugs, the injections, and you heard that you have to live with it, well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great success with helping people. My testimonials are marvelous with patients. They love the treatment. There's no injections. There's no medication. There's no surgery. There's none of that. It's strictly either the laser, the acupuncture I do, or shockwave therapy I do. Open 6 days a week. Come in for the free consultation and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. And, since I started Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I never get hungry, but all this talk about SNAP benefits and food, I am really starting to get hungry. I don't know. Can somebody bring me some SNAP? Can anybody bring me some EBT? Oh, my goodness. I haven't felt hungry in so long, and all this talk of food in the morning and steak and everything else. All right, welcome. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. It is Friday, which means open phones on the program. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And you can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. But it seems like the liberals in the audience, they're feeling defeated because they keep spewing out profanities, forcing me to end the debate. All right. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. My name's Mike from Coldwater, Michigan.
Hey, what's up, Michigan?
Hey, I just want to give your callers, especially these liberals, a couple of statistical facts. I've called into your show before. By the way, thank you for taking my call. Well, I'm going to give you some statistical facts here in the state of Michigan. 14% of the entire population in the state of Michigan is on food stamps. 14%. That's like 1.5 million people receive food stamp assistance in the state of Michigan. And for any of the liberals who are thinking that these people are going to starve and that they're not going to get their EBT, Every single state follows the same guideline in delivering the money to EBT recipients, SNAP benefits. Some are on the 1st, some are on the 9th, some are on the 15th, some are at the end of the month. So they're not going to die, they're not going to starve, and maybe perhaps if we get lucky, if President Trump and Congress Mike Johnson go ahead and drops the nuclear bomb on top of Schumer and Jeffrey's head, then we'll get this.
Well, metaphorically, with President Trump is very, very smart, and he's always 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And they may have been waiting for the SNAP benefits to bring in the nuclear option, and then they'll just use the nuclear option on everything moving forward, and we're going to get the whole agenda done.
Exactly.
But I do want to say, though, there are. I'm not happy about this. I hope they do the nuclear option, because there are parents out there that don't have food for their children. Okay, right now because of this, because of what the Schumer shutdown, and that's a fact. And there are seniors in the audience that are, not everybody. I know some people that get like the max Social Security over $2,000 a month, but a lot of people get $1,200 a month, right? So there are people that are in need that have no food at home right now because of the Schumer shutdown. So I see no other option other than the nuclear option. That's it. Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call from Michigan. All right. Take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sherry from Texas.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey. I heard you mention that the max benefits on Social Security is like $2,000.
Oh, no, it's way above. No, it's way above. I see. No. Yeah, no, I know people that are getting that. The high 2s and the 3s and the 4s. Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people that get that. But I know people that get $1,200 or even less.
With the nuclear action that the Trump administration, you're exactly right. Trump is always 10 steps ahead of them. He's a professional chess player. They can't win with him, and this is our last option. This is our last little technique that they can use per se, is to keep the government shut down. Another thing I heard on, I don't live on social media, although it's part of my job. The blacks saying, you white people owe it to us. This is why we live generation after generation.
Yes.
On welfare. Well, no, we don't owe you anything. Okay. Actually, all of us here work for a living, and it's everybody's tax dollars that are paying you to live on government assistance, right? So, your last caller before last, who mentioned about how you used to stand in line for cheese and things like that. I lived in Arlington, Montana for 3 years on the Blackfoot Reservation. Those people know how to take care of their own. Those commodities, those people live on canned meat, cheese, milk. They provide everything. Once a month, families go to an area of the reservation, and they are fed, plus they're given an allotment from their own people. They don't live off the government.
Yeah, and listen, we know, we can see by what's going on. Of the 40 million on SNAP, I'm going to say 5 million are deserving. And the rest of them are, and if you drive through bad neighborhoods, you'll see stores. We take EBT. You can use your EBT on much more than just the bare necessities. Yeah.
Typically, I have no problem. I mean, I pack in Texas, open carry, whatever. I don't flash my gun. I pack it on my right hip, and I'm quick to the draw. I've been shooting for a lot of years. But let me tell you something. I'm not going to go out there and feel like I'm provoking and giving them the opportunity to come up behind me and take what's mine and put myself in a situation or a predicament that's going to cost me, right? They're threatening to jump white people. They're threatening to telling us not to go out and go grocery shopping. We're going to jump up behind you. We're going to take your stuff. I have no doubt that they have that plan. I have absolutely no doubt.
Well, what's happened is when, these videos that we've all been seeing on social media, well, I'm going to go rob Walmart and shoplift if I don't get my SNAP. We had a guy in studio years ago. He had done over 20 years in prison, maximum security prison. He was a hitman, and he had this ministry called Cons for Christ, and he would help. And he was an inmate at the prison where my dad was a guard at. When my dad was a guard, he remembered my dad. My dad was one of his guards. It was crazy. And he was a hitman for some mobsters. And he would talk about, he says, these guys, they get out of prison, they want to go back. Because when you're in prison, you get institutionalized. They tell you when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to go to the bathroom, how to button your shirt, which sock to put on first. And when they're on their own, they can't function. Well, what we have are millions of people that are multi-generational welfare fraud, right? And, I'm talking about the SNAP benefits. And they don't even know how to function and take care of themselves. They don't know how to work, they know how to con the system, which is
And they reoffend, go out there, do the crime all over again.
They want to go back.
And they go.
Well, they want to go back. And these SNAP people we're seeing on social media, they're institutionalized as well. They don't even understand that there's a way to provide for yourself.
And why make it a race thing? Why say...
Because they're racist. They think it's reparations.
That's exactly right.
They think that's it. I mean, and that's one of the reasons that so many blacks have left the Democrat Party, because they saw the illegals getting the reparations with all the benefits that they were giving illegals.
God, it's just a vicious cycle.
It's sad. It's really sad.
The option of the nuclear option that Trump has, what are the specifics about that, Brian?
That we just need it does away with that filibuster, and we just need a 51 vote majority to pass it, not the 60. The Senate has these rules where you got to have 60 votes, so they slow things down. And to me that always seems absurd. You win. You got 51 votes, even if it's 50-50, and you got the vice president. You win. You vote. You got 51 votes. You do it. And
Juan Omar is just losing the top of her head because Schumer didn't endorse
Zohan. Well, this new thing that they're talking about, she gave an interview. This is one of the sound bites I can't play. I can't play any audio sound bites today. This is one of them. Although I had one that's I'll do it over the weekend on my podcast or something. But the thing with Ilhan Omar, she's talking about, if like Zohan has, if you don't vote for Zohan, you're an Islamophobe. Well, I got news for you. New York City was twice attacked by Islamic terrorists, and there are people there. New York City is filled with people that have PTSD from 9/11. There are grown men and women who grew up orphans because their parents were killed on 9/11. And I think the people of New York have good reason to be suspicious of Muslims. Sorry, I mean, come on.
They took down the Twin Towers, right? So they feel like they own that area, right? We took this down. That's our territory. Now look, 24 years later, a couple of decades later, here we are, a Muslim running to take.
This is I asked this question a couple weeks ago, and I'll ask it of you, and I'll ask it to you in the audience. And I want you to think about this now, because next year will be 25 years since 9/11, the Islamic terrorist attack on New York State, right? If New York City elects a foreign-born religious Muslim mayor, who won the war on terror, us or them? I would say we lost. Mm-hmm. If he went, yeah.
Yeah, we lost it. If they allow him to take office, we lost it, because once he makes it into office, it's slowly but surely going to trickle from state to state to state.
Well, see, this is the thing. Throughout history, you learn about all these things, right? The Blitzkrieg of Germany, Napoleon, Alexander the Great. All these things. What the enemies of all of us, Chinese, do this too. The Chinese, you don't have to invade or hijack planes or send in armies. You just move into a neighborhood and then run for city council, and then you run for state office, and then next thing you know you're next thing you know you're in Congress. It's just immigration and migration.
wasn't set in place to where, I mean, he wasn't even born here.
Well, sadly, when our country was founded, the founding fathers technically were not Americans when they were born, right? They were British. Yeah, and it was a tiny country, you know, so they didn't, and back then, how long did it take to travel around, you know? So it would be nice if you had to be a natural-born U.S. citizen to hold all offices, at least federal offices.
What a mess.
Mm-hmm.
That's Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I appreciate it. If Zohan wins New York, it's so bad. And, you know, from a selfish standpoint, people like somebody like what I'm doing here, I mean, it's going to be just a fountain of great material to discuss on the air, but I don't care. I don't want that. He's going to be a disaster, but you know, what his long-term goal and what his real agenda is of those behind him, because he's as dumb as Kamala Harris, so he doesn't think too much. And he's certainly not running things. It's bad news, and you guys know why. I just said it to the last caller. Let me talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Tomorrow is November, all right? So it's holiday season, guys. It is holiday season. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You've got Christmas parties. You've got Christmas. You've got Hanukkah. You've got New Year's. You've got your work parties. You're going to see people that you see once a year, every 5 years, every 10 or 20 years. You want to look great. You want to lose that weight. You want to look thinner than you did last year. And I'm looking forward. There's a lot of people we get together, Thanksgiving, people I see once a year in the family. They're not going to recognize me unless they watch me on YouTube or have seen me on TV recently. Then they might. But they're really not going to recognize. I've lost so much weight. And I got to tell you, those of you that came to Wings Plus on Inauguration Day, I'm embarrassed of those pictures. I had no idea how much weight I had gained until I started losing it. And my face was round, and now, I mean, I've got my jawline back. I've got a neck. My face is no longer round. My stomach is flat. I'm fitting in the clothes that I haven't been able to fit in, maybe ever, really, quite honestly. And I feel great. I've got more energy, and my results are typical. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret and set up your no-charge consultation. Remember, you can benefit from all their great help, no matter where you're located in the United States. And we have listeners from all over America that have called Coastal Weight Loss Secret. The number is 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott on the radio reminding you that your
Oh, boy, oh boy. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, okay?
This is Steve Kane. The time for open enrollment is here. And as if Medicare wasn't confusing enough last year,
I'm at the radio station today. On Monday, I'll be back to my place.
some major carriers are pulling out of Medicare altogether. Do what we do in the Kane household. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review your Medicare plan for free. Debbie's schedule is filling up fast, but if you mention my name, Steve Kane, she'll put you right to the front of the line. Call Debbie right now at 954-753-8080. That's 954 area code 753-8080. Be sure to mention that Steve Kane sent you.
Discover a new era of luxury senior living at the Carlisle Palm Beach, the only senior living community in Palm Beach with ocean views. Under new management by Liberty Senior Living, the Carlisle is being beautifully reimagined with resort-style amenities, refreshed apartment homes, and smart living upgrades. Enjoy vibrant wellness through Inspire by Liberty, elevated dining experiences, and a lifestyle designed for connection and ease. Since 1999, the Carlisle has been a trusted name. Now, with a renewed vision for refined living, call today or visit CarlislePalmBeach.com to learn more. That's CarlislePalmBeach.com.
Tom LaPorte here from LaPorte Roofing. Homeowners, condo associations, and HOA communities are being threatened by their insurance companies to replace their roofs or roof coverage. We perform a full evaluation of your roofs, test the conditions of the materials, suggest repairs, set maintenance schedules, and write letters to your insurance company
If you're on hold, hang in there. Phone's very busy. There's 2 openings on the board. 2 openings.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor.
Magistan, yeah, that's awesome. Yes. I like that. Magistan. You guys like that? Magistan? Awesome.
Any lab test now at Coral Springs. Any lab test now at Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is. 7441. Any lab test now at Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now at Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. Don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world through all the...
All right. There's only... Oh, nope. There is not one opening on the board. I just want to say this. Somebody in the YouTube live chat room said the day of hunger begins tomorrow. You know, hunger's a great motivator to go out and get a job. You know, I just say this quick, then I go to the phones, because it is Open Mega Mike Friday. I had well, I shouldn't say a friend of a friend that I've known for like a long time, and we've never gotten along. But I'm at my friend's house, and they were like roommates, and it was either a Friday or a Saturday night. I do remember that. Because I always had early morning hours, and this happened at night, so I wouldn't have been over there at night during the week. And he had been out of work for a long time, and he was getting unemployment. And he was going through the mail for the day, and he got the letter that he only had one more check coming. That it was it. He'd gone through all his unemployment benefits. He had to, you know. And I remember this like it was just. I'm not going to say his name because if he's not listening, some friends of mine that know him are listening, and they may tell. And if I tell any more details, they'll all know who it is. And we've made up and all this stuff from the past. I don't want to stir. I don't want to rub salt in old wounds. But he said, he says, hey, can you give me a ride down the street to Walmart? And we went over to Walmart. He applied for a job, got a job right on the spot. Boom. As soon as the unemployment was up, he got a job instantly at Walmart. Like that, boom, and it was at night instantly, and he started like that Monday. You know, so while there are many people deserving, hunger is a great motivator. All right, let's go. I'm going to I've lost track of who's who and who called when, but let's see how this works. Every line on the board is lit. You think the first call I'm going to get is going to be Doug? Watch. Who knows? Got a conservative Doug here. Every line is lit. I'm going to take a call at random. I'm not even going to look at the board to see who's been on the longest. I'm going to take a call at random. Do you guys think, is it going to be conservative Doug here or somebody else? Let's find out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Chris.
Oh, no, it's not Doug. Oh, boy, I don't know how that happened. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Good. Hey, I tell you what, between you and President Trump, you're both the hardest working people I know.
That's right.
Good job, man. I don't know how you do it sometimes. But listen, speaking of work, you just hit it on the head. I mean, we used to say when we were hiring people, we need people with bills to pay and mouths to feed. Such a great work ethic we used to have. And, you know, my family's from Georgia. I grew up here in the 40s for the most part because there wasn't much more than agriculture and, you know, low paying. So they wanted better opportunities. So many people that we knew in our community worked so hard, sometimes 2 jobs. And then, like you said, now they're enabled, their votes were bought, and they got comfortable. And it went from bad to worse. I mean, I can tell you stories upon stories about people who would have otherwise worked, but they got lazy and accepted
what was given to them.
Well, you know, some of these people we're seeing like that are getting $3,000 to $4,000 a month in SNAP benefits. How's that even possible? They got so much fraud going on. You know, I don't know if there's 40 million. There may be 40 million like payouts, but how many people are getting multiple people's benefits? How is somebody getting $4,000 a month that they're bragging about on TikTok?
Well, it's amazing. And when you mention that, and I actually went to Walmart earlier to get some oil, a young lady, this is going back a few years, but she was working, making maybe $11-12 an hour. And some woman came in and had 2 shopping carts, a good shopping cart and a half of food, buying any and everything she wanted. And I think the lady said that she still had about a $2,000 balance on her card.
Oh, my goodness. It was an EBT card, and she had that. What?
EBT card, it's amazing. And then I also remember I thought it was over when I started seeing at convenience stores and all these things that they started accepting them years ago. But they were trying to regulate it like, well, you can use EBT, but you can't buy sodas and junk. I mean, convenience stores are usually double the price of grocery stores.
So how do people have EBT cards that have thousands of dollars on them? She does her shopping and she still has 2,000. How is that possible?
You know, probably has something to do with, I remember when Bush cracked down on that. But you have these single mothers, like the one they interviewed the other day, saying, well, I'm a single mother with 4 kids. Probably just a baby mama that never had a husband because, you know, the government will pay. I've heard those stories, too. I don't know what to do. I think I'll just have a kid and let the government take care of us. But, yeah, so remember they were started? There were these 3 women that were stuck in one apartment because they were abusing the money. Between the 3 of them, they had like 16 kids. And then the kids had to be taken away from them. But anyway, they were giving them more money for each kid they had, and they stopped that because that was how these women, they'll get all this extra money each kid. They said, we're no longer, you have one child, we're taking care of you. You have another child, we're not giving you any more money because that's...
Well, I do know this. J.D. Vance and President Trump are very well aware of these people bragging that they're getting $4,000 a month in SNAP. They believe me, they know about it. I mean, you know, JD knew about Hassan Piker shocking his dog with the collar, okay? So he knows about this. And President Trump always knows what's going on. This is insane. I don't think there's 40 million on SNAP benefits. I think there maybe there's 20 million and then there's 20 million fraudulent ones. I mean, there's something doesn't make sense with that. And you know, this woman bragging about her EBT you saw at Walmart today, who the hell brags about that? In public, the strangers, isn't that weird? Isn't that a strange? I wouldn't be bragging about that.
Milking the system, proud of it. I forget which state, but I think they had 1.4 million, and I think they were trying to reach in their pockets and see what they could do to help them get those benefits. But no, you know, trust me, I can tell you stories. And
well, listen, I got to run, but I'll give you the last word.
When I first came down, I heard about, I guess it's a little different, the subsidized housing, how they pay for their rent, sometimes 100%. My mother-in-law lived next to people who were in a house for 20 years being paid by the government subsidized. And I couldn't believe they did that for single-family houses. Mm-hmm. On the left and right of them paying mortgage. Meanwhile, this one investor, I guess, that owned the house was letting the government pay for them to stay. So, I mean, there's so much.
Well, there's requirements on new construction communities. They have to have so much Section 8 housing under the Obama rules or whatever. You have to have so much Section 8 housing in every apartment complex you build, things like that. I don't know what the formula is for that, but yeah, it's they've just baked it in. All right, appreciate the call, Chris. I probably should, but I'll take another call. What the heck? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Frank from Tazewell, Florida.
Hey, can you pick up the phone? The speaker, it's hard to hear you.
Oh, yeah, give me one moment here. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to add a little bit onto that last caller. Well, not the most recent one, but the one you were talking about, Mamdani.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying, like, if he gets elected mayor, that we lost the war against terrorism. I'm under the opinion that we either lost it or at least have been losing it no more than 8 years after it was declared, and that was when we elected Obama as president. What he did, should I say, when he was president, was praise Islam and make everyone fearful of speaking against it. So if you ask me, that war was lost then.
Well, you know, okay, you know, I remember when he was first running, somebody called about The View. Joy Behar on The View called him, and she was not alone. A lot of Democrats, she called him Barack Osama. And there was one time he was being interviewed when he was running for president. This guy interviewed him, and he's like, "Now, Senator Barack Osama," and then Obama came out and corrected him, and that was a common thing back then. And people weren't doing it on purpose. They, it was just they just thought his name was Osama, like Bin Laden. Yeah, maybe. A lot of the problems we have, this is. I'll tell you this quick thing. There was a story. When Obama was president, we had the internet and new media, but not like we do now. Okay, we didn't have social media like we do today, and as much. There was a story that came out of Obama bringing in over 100,000 Muslims in one thing. And I remember that everybody was talking about that, and then instantly they said, "Oh, that's not true. It was debunked by the fact checkers." Well, I think it was true now. And you look at Michigan and Minnesota and New York and these other places, Obama was bringing Muslims here. If you remember when President Trump was running the first time, that was a big discussion on the campaign trail. That's when he came in with the so-called Muslim ban, right? When he one of his first actions in his first term. Barack Obama brought hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of Muslims into the country in his 8 years. And so much of what we have going on today, the Ilhan Omar, Tlaib, Zohan Mamdani, it's all Obama and his doing. And it's the new way you don't have to invade countries anymore. You just move there.
I don't know at what point you officially lose the war on terror, but I would certainly say that we've been losing it.
No, I don't think we haven't lost it. We haven't lost it, but there is. Let me tell you, there is. Remember, they were going to try to build a mosque at Ground Zero down the street. Remember that? It was because this is just wrong. I mean, would you have a Japanese mayor in Honolulu in 1970, 25 years after the war ended, or or 66, 25 years after Pearl Harbor? I don't think so. They may now, but there's just something. It's inappropriate, and I'm telling you, there are people in New York, a lot of people that are suffering from PTSD from 9/11 still, and they should, and they have good reason to be worried. And they're not bigots. They've just been in a war. That was New York City, Ground Zero. It was a war zone.
I remember when the media was covering up for him, too. I like that one interview. He's like, "My Muslim faith." It's like, "Whoa, you mean your Christian faith?" He goes, "Oh."
No, that was George Stephanopoulos, and and Obama said, and if you remember, this was so fantastic. Okay, remember, I got a call yesterday morning from a guy who thought there were 56 states. This idiot Democrat. When Obama was on the campaign trail, remember when he says, "I've been to 57 states." And 3 to go. Okay. Now this was amazing when he said I've campaigned in 57 states and 3 more to go. Whatever. Rush Limbaugh. See, this is why we all miss Rush. Rush that day pointed out at the time. Now things may be different now because it's been a long time and there's new countries. But Rush Limbaugh pointed out at that time there were 57 Muslim states in the world. And I bet you, we talked about this. Isn't that something? We used to be taught that there were 50 states without even thinking about it. Although that idiot, liberals don't know that. They always say 51 or something. But I bet you in the Muslim world, like we learn there's 50 states, they learn there's 57 Muslim states, right? And that's just something. It was one of those moments, like with my Muslim faith, that he outed himself, right? Listen, I'm late for the break. I'm late for the break. I'm way late for the break. I got to run. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott on the radio, reminding you that your favorite oldies are back on the air right after 10 a.m. this morning on the True Oldies channel.
From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Lots of sunshine today in the forecast. No mention of rain. Cool, high of 76. Cooler tonight, low of 59. For the weekend, back up to the low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Lows at night in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Increasing rain chance by Sunday.
replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On John Road, watch for emergency vehicles reportedly still on the scene of an earlier crash at Okeechobee Boulevard. There's construction at Atlantic Avenue from 441 to the Turnpike. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Now 250 keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Ron Hurst.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's a great week to visit PBKC with poker, table games, exceptional eats, and super OTB action. This Friday and Saturday, watch, wager, and win on the Breeders' Cup live from Del Mar with 14 of horse racing's most prestigious races. The poker room features high hands every 15 minutes, a $15,000 cash giveaway this Saturday, $100,000 progressive weekends, tournaments, and exciting table games. It's Breeders' Cup week at PBKC. For details, go to pbkennelclub.com.
If you're dreaming of that perfect Caribbean cruise, nothing comes close to Celebrity Beyond, sailing year-round from Miami to the Caribbean, including our 10th annual cruise in March. Every cruise on Celebrity Beyond is unforgettable. Every detail is taken care of, and you'll enjoy all-inclusive fares, world-class restaurants, and top-quality beverages that redefine indulgence. Relax in the retreat, your own private resort within a resort, or unwind on the retreat sun deck with panoramic.
Do you have a pen? Any or marker, anything to write with? I just got to write down a phone number. There's nothing to write with. Oh, I don't want to take one off somebody's desk. Oh, you got one? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, thanks.
Something online and then you get slapped with a huge shipping charge at checkout. Not at mypillow.com. Right now, enjoy free shipping on all orders $100 or more when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. This is your chance to stock up on unbeatable deals on everything site-wide. Soft sheets, cozy slippers, plush bathrobes, mattresses, mattress toppers, headbeds. It's free shipping on all orders $100 or more. Order now at mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for free shipping.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right, we're back. And again, it's Open Mega Mike Friday. I am so late on the breaks. I'm going to get in all kinds of trouble after the show today, guys. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Ben. I'm calling from Oklahoma.
Good, Ben. You're a singer. My name is Ben. I'm calling from Oklahoma. I mean, can you sing? Yeah, can you sing that Oklahoma song? Okay, what's on your mind, Ben?
All right, I want to have a discussion. You ready for it?
It's a talk show. That's what we do. That's the format.
Let's get into it. So basically, MAGA does nothing good for America. They just take immigrants away. They give tax cuts to billionaires. We should vote for people like Bernie Sanders so we can give everybody universal.
Okay, all right. Now hold on. Now you said something that's interesting. Hold on. You said something that's interesting because I want to talk about this. You said that MAGA doesn't do anything for anyone. They give tax cuts for billionaires. This is an amazing thing. I've never been to Oklahoma. But it must be a very exclusive place because no tax on tips. You're telling me that bartenders and waitresses are billionaires? He just gave tax cuts to? No tax on tips? Those are billionaires?
Well, imagine the taxes we could give to them.
No. Are you telling me that in Oklahoma, the waiters and waitresses and bartenders are billionaires? Because they just got a big tax break from President Trump. No tax on tips.
You're telling me billionaires aren't getting tax cuts? Because now we're deflecting.
No, we're not deflecting. You just don't know what you're talking about. Listen, people,
You literally took my question and you put it into something else.
Well, the people that get tax cuts, get this, are people who pay taxes. The more money you pay in taxes, the more money you get. President Trump made the Trump tax. He gave no tax on tips, right? No tax on overtime. Gave senior citizens a massive tax deduction. So most seniors aren't even paying taxes on the Social Security anymore. But he also made most of the Trump tax cuts permanent, which I was concerned about because they were expiring, and I take advantage of those. So anyone who paid taxes of any kind got big tax cuts, from tip workers all the way to billionaires and everyone in between, which would be you if you work.
Oh, no, I work. I'm just not a billionaire.
You're not a billionaire. This is another one who thinks that billionaire is a dirty word. When you get it only if you're a loser like you in Oklahoma. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Well, wait a minute. Zohan, you just named 3 people. You just free everything. Yeah, sure. Why don't we just have free everything? Okay, you mentioned 3 people. Zohan Mamdani, AOC, and Bernie Sanders. Okay? All 3 of them are multimillionaires. They got tax cuts, too, from President Trump. Bernie Sanders owns 5 houses. They're millionaires.
Member in the Senate?
No, he's not. He owns 5 houses. No, he's not. In fact, his wife had some multi-million-dollar scheme at a college. He may have been when he first went there. Hold on a second. Bernie Sanders may have been the poorest member of the Senate when he got there, but he's not now. He owns 5 homes. He's a multimillionaire. So's AOC, and so's Mamdani. Yes, he does. One of them is a summer camp on a lake.
Yeah, that he inherited from his wife, but it's not 5 homes.
No, he owns 5 homes. He owns 5 homes.
A billionaire.
Well, good for him. What does that mean to you?
Bad for Bernie and good for Donald Trump.
Oh no, I want to have trillionaires. Rich people are good. Yes.
You think the American people want trillionaires?
I do.
We want to raise taxes on billionaires.
Why? Okay, here's what you don't understand. Okay, what do you do? Okay, what do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living?
Yes.
I work in photography.
You work in photography. Okay, so do you have your own business?
No.
You work for someone?
Yes.
Is it a large company, a small company?
News for my town and stuff, my city, and I take.
What are you guys, some bum? What do you walk around with your iPhone and snap pictures? Is that really a job? Like how much does a job like that pay? Working for a newspaper, taking pictures. What do you think you are, Jimmy Olsen? Come on, that's not even a job. Taking a newspaper photographer in a local town is not a job anymore. So I understand you don't like successful people because you're a loser.
No, if I was a loser, I would be like a Donald Trump supporter.
Well, how much does it pay to be a photographer for a local newspaper today in some small town in Oklahoma?
So how did we get...
We're going to get to wherever I want to get because I'm hosting the show. How much does a photographer, this guy thinks saying billionaire over upsets people. There's no such thing as a job of being a photographer for there's no such job that pays money being a photographer for a small local newspaper in Oklahoma. The pictures come from people's cell phones now. Come on. What do you really do for a living? Do you live with your parents? Do your parents pay your bills?
Taxes on bill.
Okay, yeah. You're doing everything you can do to get hung up on. I understand talking about yourself is triggering to you. So do you live with your parents? Mommy and daddy pay your bill? How do you pay your rent?
Well, I don't pay my rent
So you can't. Isn't this great? No, I don't want anyone to pay taxes. I don't think anyone should. We should fund the whole country with tariffs. Import taxes, correct.
So tariffs are making prices rise. You do realize that?
No, they're not. What do you care? Your parents pay for everything. Why do you care what the price of anything is when mommy and daddy pay? Listen, you're very, very lucky because I have to take what Rush used to call, what did he call them? A profit-taking segment. What did he call that? A profit-taking, what was the rest of that? We have to make some money here, okay? We got to take a commercial break. So thanks for your call. Oh, my goodness. See, when you talk to, when I got a conservative on the line, I say, what do you do? They love to tell you. I ask a liberal, he starts just throwing out words trying to get hung up on, right? Didn't work. And he's only gone because it's break time. We'll be right back.
The Colt. Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
This is George Colony. I'm in the real estate business in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with Kai's Real Estate. I've been in business for 6 decades. People often ask me, what's the right time to buy or sell real estate? To tell you the truth, it's always the right time. You just need to have the right advice,
Hey.
the right advisor. You can call me anytime because I answer my phone at the first ring. My number is 954-801-7320.
Yep.
That's my personal cell phone number. And I answer it on the first ring every time. Please give me
Yeah,
a
you there?
call. I'm happy to answer any question that you have.
Not yet. No. It's we're in break.
954-801-7320.
Hey, you got time. I'm going to put you on hold. When I pick you up, we'll be on the air, okay?
She's a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you went and met with Joe Thomas.
Have you heard those new spots I did for the life imaging the other day? I haven't seen them. I wanted to hear them. I haven't heard them yet. I don't know if they're in the mix. They're the one they have Tom on them. They might not be running yet.
Been on yet, no.
Mike said they came out well. I didn't.
I have to check if it's in the next break, 'cause I don't think I've heard them at all today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear them yesterday? They might not be in the mix yet.
I don't think they're in the mix
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
Guide me in the right direction so that I'll be set. And he sure did. And I'm very happy that I went there. And I even got my mother to join too. Now I feel comfortable that I'm set and I don't have to worry about running out of money.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than running out of money before you run out of life, right?
Exactly.
Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Gina, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
The Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompeii. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle tension, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hey, Brian Craig here. You hear me talk with Attorney Barry Siegel every day about how we can help you and your family. Now here's one of our listeners, Frances, sharing her experience of how Attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure.
Is that a homeless guy? Mike,
Not a whole bunch of bank account savings
is this a homeless guy out here?
for my 2 daughters. I was worried that if I had just a
He's what? He keeps walking in front of the cars and
then that would take 2 years. So
I'll tell you on the air. I'll tell you on the air when we get back.
radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney.
Yeah.
I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we
Oh my
went
gosh.
over everything, and I ended up with this wonderful trust for my 2 daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my 2 daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney, Barry Siegel, finding him to help me assure that my 2 daughters will be well taken care of.
Gary Siegel a call right now. Toll free 855 FLA 3782. 855 FLA 3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane. Hey, Steve. Steve Kane. Earth to Steve. I just talked to Steve during the break. I'm going to put Steve on hold. We'll check back. Can you check back on that? He's on the last line. Let me know when he's back there, Mike, if you don't mind. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee.
That guy you were just talking to, who was a Bernie supporter, heads up to him.
What?
He should have been president.
Bernie.
Bernie, yes, Bernie. Bernie. By the way, the reason Kamala, and pronounce her name right, practice, you are really ignorant.
Yeah, it's Willie Brown's girlfriend. First, middle, and last name. Willie Brown's girlfriend.
Kamala Harris, and you are a midget and a bigot. So shut up. Now.
No, excuse me. You can insult me, but when you say shut up, your history. All right, Steve, you with us? Yeah, you're with us now. Oh, man, there's all kinds of action going on here at the radio station today. You're missing. I'm watching. Well, I'm up high in the building, and there's this homeless guy walking around, and he likes to walk in the middle of the road in front of cars that are coming towards him. I've just been watching him the last few minutes. He walks very slowly. He staggers, so he's definitely tanked. He walks very slow, and he just right in the middle of where the cars are coming. It's
probably a Democratic politician.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for his SNAP benefits. I've been watching. Well, there's only. Sure, absolutely.
For all my major.
Oh, yes.
Did you see the vice president yesterday school those people from Congress?
Yes, I did. The press conference. Yes, it was very good.
Really impressive. Really impressive. But you know what? Nobody seems to have come up with how do you think this thing is going to end?
What thing?
The
shutdown. Oh, I think it looks like right now. This could change in 10 seconds, but President Trump told them to use the nuclear option, so they're going to do the 51 vote majority and feed the food stamp people.
Why haven't they used that up till now?
Why? I don't know. The president had some things going on. He was probably waiting to get back home from Asia and was probably waiting for the food stamps to hit, to have a good excuse to do it.
So this is going to occur today?
It could. It might. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see this administration. They are incredible.
Oh. Is he done? He's gone.
With all the speculation, it's going to be basically the Democrats that are going to end it, because you're going to get three of them that stand up and say enough is enough, and it's just a question of who they are and when they speak up.
Well, the nuclear option, which Schumer has used when he was the majority leader, the nuclear option, when they use this is something they can't disagree with them for using it, right? Feeding the hungry. Okay, so once they do it, then they can use the nuclear option to get everything done. So it sounds pretty cool. Sounds like this is awesome. I think they're probably waiting for this.
So they're going to end it, though, because...
It could be the Republicans. With the nuclear option, we don't need one Democrat vote.
Well, okay, that's true, too. But it's not going to be long now. There's no question of that.
Almost here, yeah.
You ever think what would happen if they didn't settle and the Thanksgiving Day holiday, which is upon us, broke over the weekend, and there was a major auto accident? I'm okay. I'm not quite awake yet. There was a major plane accident where the Democrats had refused to pay.
Oh, the air traffic controllers, yeah.
They'd never get elected to anything again. It would be the end of the party.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt about it. Every line on the board is lit. You want to take some calls?
Sure, let's do it.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm watching this homeless man play Frogger in the traffic. He moved out of my sight line though. All right. I don't. Do you remember that studio where the people used to have sex outside the radio station? Yes, I do. We used to. No, that was when. That's when we were at the radio station in Miami, and we were up on the top floor, and the windows were dark tinted. You couldn't tell there were people inside the windows, and there was this parking lot next to the radio station parking lot that had like a 6-foot wall around it, and there was never anybody in it, and people used to come in that parking lot and have sex all the time, and not me, of course, but all these other radio people were always there looking at people having sex all day out the window of the radio. And people, that's when we were in that complex with like all those radio stations. The people were coming from Big 106, all the radio stations to watch these people have sex. It was, I never did. That's not my thing. No. All right, well, now you think I would do something like that? Oh my goodness, watch them. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. I remember one time there was this woman and guy. They were having sex in a minivan in the parking lot, and this is like during the daytime, guys. And when they were done, the guy got out and he walked away dribbling a basketball, and she drove off in the minivan. It was very strange. I remember that. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Romeo.
Yes.
Hey, Romeo. Listen, man, I'm a Scorpio, and I love me a good sex story myself, so I apologize. I didn't know I was on the air. But I feel like this topic is a serious topic.
Which topic?
So before I get into it, I just want to ask, because I feel like there's a difference, and I just want to clarify. Are you a Republican or are you MAGA? I feel like there's a difference.
No, it's no difference. It's the same thing.
Okay, so let me tell you what I believe my difference is, and then we can maybe go from there. So I believe Republicans stand on what they stand on, Republicans, but I do feel like Trump has taken over the MAGA party. And the MAGA supporters are the ones that are unable to see flaws in his action. It's almost like they serve him compared to the Constitution, right? That's coming from MAGA. If he does something that destroys the Constitution...
Well, then tell us his most recent action that was destroying the Constitution.
Okay. I feel... Let's simplify things. I'm a simple talker. I'm not going to get into no big words.
No, you're buying time. Just say it. We're almost we're up against the top of the hour.
Freedom of speech.
You're speaking out against him. What freedom of speech has gone?
Anybody that speaks against Trump and what they believe to be wrong, he has spoken against them. How about...
That's not limiting free speech. You're speaking against him. If he were doing something unconstitutional, he'd be putting people in jail who said something. Now, I asked for an...
Brian's asking for is an example.
And he hasn't given one.
You can point to.
Okay, you want me to talk about the comedy? You want me to talk about late
No, we want you to take an example where Trump has violated freedom of speech.
We got 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Okay, don't now you want to put me in a timeline because I'm talking.
Well, we got to take a commercial break. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll put you on hold so you can desperately try to think of something. All right. All right. He's on hold. You're on hold. Everybody's on hold. Every line is filled. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back right after this. I would not have put that guy on hold.
104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores. And heard in Broward on 96.9 FM. Boca Raton on 95.3 FM. West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM. And in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Lots of sunshine today in the forecast. No mention of rain. Cool, high of 76. Cooler tonight, low of 59. For the weekend, back up to the low 80s Saturday and Sunday. Lows at night in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Increasing rain chance by Sunday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
Like coming over to
And
his
now,
car.
a true oldies
Yeah.
traffic check. Brought to you by the
Yeah.
Palm Beach Kennel
Booked it
Club.
inside, like hard to book it inside.
Yeah, he was. I saw him standing in front of a couple cars. I mean, you know.
At South Flagler Drive. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250, keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Brian.
Oh? Are you serious?
Didn't record.
At all. Record for the first few seconds. I thought it was stupid. It was zoomed in, so I thought it was just it was zoomed in like that. I'm sorry. Should have caught that ahead. I checked too, and I didn't know if it was. I thought it was like this. Like
That's
I thought
okay.
it was close like that.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Recording at least for the last.
If you're dreaming of that perfect Caribbean cruise, nothing comes close to Celebrity Beyond, sailing year-round from Miami to...
Can you tell me what commercials we have this hour? Because I got. I still have to do that one.
Beyond is unforgettable. Every detail is
It
taken
says
care
Joe
of,
Thomas,
and
but that's
you'll
just
enjoy
a review.
all-inclusive fares, world-class restaurants, and
Coastal
top-quality
weight loss.
beverages
Okay.
that
No
redefine
problem.
indulgence. Relax in the retreat, your own private resort within a resort, or unwind on the Retreat Sun Deck with panoramic ocean views. You can pamper yourself in Aqua Class, where 5-star spa experiences will melt your stress away. From the lively martini bar to the breathtaking sunset bar, every space on board Celebrity Beyond is designed to inspire and delight, all backed by Celebrity's unmatched service. Call Cruise and Travel Depot today at 561-244-5779. That's 561-244-5779 to book all your celebrity vacations. Because when it comes to luxury at sea, on board Celebrity Beyond,
What did Rush call breaks? Profit taking. What did he call them? Profit taking. I forgot what he called commercials. Profit taking.
Tingling in my hands and feet.
Does anybody remember?
Loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation.
I cannot remember what he called them.
222-6642.
when you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest.
Profit taking. I can't remember what he called them. Does anybody remember? What Rush called breaks? Profit taking.
Every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two.
I can't remember.
Our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them
We're coming back.
about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. Okay, we held our guy over. All right, you're back, caller, and Steve, go ahead.
Where are you there?
Yes, I'm
caller. Okay, this is Steve. I had just a couple of questions. I'm interested in your subject matter here. When you're talking about Magda or whatever, you say they're trying to take away your freedom of speech. Can you just focus in and give me one example that illustrates your point so we can talk about it?
Late night, I think, is the best example of the president. You know, the contract, the big company behind. I think it was Comcast. The $16 million payout that also included canceling a show that. Stephen Colbert, late night show. So this is a late night show that has a lot of comedy against, speaks against Trump. Against the comedies against the president. He doesn't like a lot of their jokes. Like Saturday Night Live. These are just examples, I think, of
So how does that? Where is freedom of speech violated in that? The guy wasn't even fired.
I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, but a number one late night show is canceled now.
Number one?
Because of strings that were pulled behind the scene.
I had not heard the show. Cobert's not on the air anymore?
So his show has been canceled. It ends in his contract it ends in April. So it's a number one show. If you're making millions of dollars, number one show.
First of all, Colbert, you're wrong. Hold on. If I might,
you're cutting me off. You wanted me to explain it, but go ahead.
I'm not cutting you off. I just want to point something out to you. The fact is that Colbert, when that whole thing, that whole dust-up occurred, had horrible numbers. He was getting beaten by everybody on the board. He was losing.
I would love for you to just
millions of dollars a year.
Hear me out. I would love for you to just go right now, while we're talking, even real quickly, and just Google, just search. And if you don't trust Google, go to any platform. But Stephen Colbert, late night, was the number one late night show. So if some people didn't like it, that's fine, but there's a big portion of America that
that's not true.
And when you're bringing in that much money, it didn't make sense.
It was losing millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
I want to give that was a good example. I want to give a great one. The president and MAGA were all behind him going for a third term. Recently, I think it was the other day on a plane, I heard him speak otherwise. Like he finally says the Constitution says otherwise. But before that, the MAGA was able to jump behind a third term. Why? Because Trump said it. Even though it went against the Constitution.
Are you under the impression that you may have missed something? I may have missed something. Did you just say that Trump is running for a third term?
No, I said the other day, which is about a day or two ago, I heard him on the plane say, hey, I can't run for a third term because the Constitution is very clear on that. But the last 8-9 months, whatever the number is.
Well, but wait a minute. You just beat your own point.
No.
You said he can't, so what are you worried about?
This is my point. No. So you don't. No. I'm a very good debater. Listen to me. My point is
He's a good debater.
MAGA's mindset was this: they would go against the Constitution because Trump said so. Compared to, I believe, a core Republican, and I'm giving that as an example. I don't care what he said because guess what? With Trump, he's a liar. So a year from now, 2 years from now, Trump could come back around and say, "Well, the Constitution says that, but we have a way to change the Constitution."
The thing can change his mind. Is that against the law?
But this is what I'm saying. Who's respecting the damn Constitution out here? We got the White House. How the White House is destroyed.
Hold on. Is the answer to that question you? Are you the one, God help the Constitution? Are you the one protecting the Constitution?
Look at the White House right now. Doesn't your stomach, like as an American, I don't care. The half of it is just gone to build a building bigger than the actual White House. And this is the man that cares about America. He found money to send to Venezuela, but he's debating how to get food stamps. Well, maybe they might change the 51. If
you're going all over the place. You're going all over the place. Why don't you hold on? Let you speak. Why don't you just tell the truth? The fact is, you don't like Trump because he's effective.
And I'm going to shut up. I just want to nail my point in, and then I'm going to let you respond. I swear to God, I'm going to go.
You nailed it.
I'll do that.
But there was no point there to nail.
So explain to me, after everything I just explained to you, how can MAGA, I'm just making the point of MAGA is going to go with whatever Trump says, even when it bends, turns, or rips apart the Constitution because they have faith.
I got a question. I let you talk. It's my turn. Who is MAGA?
I just told you the one.
You're doing all this rambling and shooting off at the mouth about MAGA. So what is MAGA?
Over the Constitution.
Give me a name of who is running MAGA.
You see what I'm saying? So I must know. Okay, whatever your name is, because you sound like you're MAGA. So whatever your name is.
Hold on. You don't want to answer my question.
The people that believe in Trump. The people that have a hat on that says third term, that he should run for the third term, those are MAGA. Because those are people that believe that the Constitution means shit.
All right. Oh, sorry, Steve. We had to hit the dump. He said the S word, so. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh boy, I tell you. By the way, Colbert, his show lost $20 million last year, and he just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix, so he's better off than he was before, financially at least, just to throw that out. Oh, boy. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Stand by if you're on hold. We got to wait for the delay to re-engage. But while we do that, I want to talk about life imaging, FLA. You know, today is the last day of the month. It is the last day of Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month. I have to say that slow. It's hard to say fast. And, you know, sudden cardiac arrest is a pretty serious thing. What I learned the other day, Steve, Tom from Life Imaging FLA was in studio. Not everybody that goes in there is all clear like me with no plaque buildup, no blockage. A lot of times people have a lot of blockage, over 80%. They had one guy go in there that was a cardiologist, and he had over 80% blockage, and he didn't even know it. Because, you know, a lot of times you can have blockage, major blockage, and you're not symptomatic. And this guy was a cardiologist, and he didn't know. So listen, call Life Imaging FLA. They have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and in Miami. Call them for your free heart scan with just a few minimum requirements that's valued at $699. From your cell phone, just call pound 250 and say free heart scan. That's pound 250 and just say free heart scan. You'll be connected in just seconds. That's pound 250 and say free heart scan. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. There's one opening on the board. We'll take our break and be back with your calls.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
This is Dr. Phil Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. I've seen thousands and thousands of patients in my career. I've been a chiropractic physician here in Pompano Beach for 40 years. We're open 6 days a week. If you have sciatica, if you have bursitis, if you have tendonitis, you're tired of taking the pills, the drugs, the injections, and you heard that you have to live with it, well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great success with helping people. My testimonials are marvelous with patients. They love the treatment. There's no injections. There's no medication. There's no surgery. There's none of that. It's strictly either the laser, the acupuncture I do, or shockwave therapy I do. Open 6 days a week. Come in for the free consultation and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com.
This is Steve Kane. The time for open enrollment is here. And as if Medicare wasn't confusing enough last year, there are major changes to be made this year. Some major carriers are pulling out of Medicare altogether. Do what we do in the Kane household. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review your Medicare plan for free. Debbie's schedule is filling up fast, but if you mention my name, Steve Kane, she'll put you right to the front of the line. Call Debbie right now at 954-753-8080. That's 954 area code 753-8080. Be sure to mention that Steve Kane sent you.
Hey, Brian Craig here. You hear me talk with attorney Barry Siegel every day about how we can help you and your family. Now here's one of our listeners, Frances, sharing her experience of how attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank account savings and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up in probate and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything, and I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased.
Awesome,
with
Bruce.
the
Thank you.
attorney, Barry Siegel. Finding him helped me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 90.9 FM, and anywhere.
All right, we are back. Every line on the board is lit. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. This is the Steve Kane Show. Steve, all this talk about SNAP benefits and EBT is making me hungry.
Just thinking about tonight is the World Series, and a lot of people looking for a place to watch the game if you enjoy sports, bars, and great down-home cooking. And, of course, the place we go for all of our sports viewing on the weekends, especially during football season, all the pro games and all the college games. Of course, we're talking about our good friend Brian over at Wings Plus. Brian, tell him a little bit about.
Yeah, now, Brian at Wings Plus is not me. Brian Walsh at Wings Plus, and I'd been eating at Wings Plus for years, and they had Wings Plus was located down the street from our old studio, and I'd been telling you, Steve, you got to go. These wings are so out of this world. You never had wings like this. And, because we're on in the mornings, they weren't open for lunch. And you had to come back for a meeting or something one day, and you stopped over and had lunch. You had one basket of wings. You came in the next day with a menu, and we're doing spots for them on the air ever since. The lemon pepper. The lemon pepper. The lemon pepper. They're all good. My favorite is the medium hot. So what I usually do is I get the 50 wing platter. I get 25 medium hot and 25 lemon pepper. That's
football. You order them before the game starts. You can pick them up during halftime or at the appropriate time when they're done, and you won't have to wait online. You won't miss any of the game. Tell them how to find Wings Plus.
Okay, Wings Plus is in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. Okay, and you can't miss it. I'm going to pull up the number, Steve. If you give me a minute, I'll get the number. If you want to call, it's 954-752-4460. 954-752-4460. And online, wingsplus.com, all right? Okay, every line on the board is lit. You want to take some calls? All right, let's go. I've lost track of the order, so whatever. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
All right, let's go.
Oh, we're going to have a good run here. You're on the air. Once, twice. All right. Oh, boy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City. You got me?
Yep.
We got you, Scott. Hey, good morning, sir. I want to change course on the subject and go back to what you started with this morning, and that is Freddie Mercury. Got a little quick something here to share with a follow-up question. We'll go back 21 years to a station like yours. I'm not sure what they played, Hot 100, Top 40, and it's not automated. It's a real person on staff, real DJ. DJ's in the middle of a song, and I don't know what they had back then. You would, I don't. Teletype gets the word.
Teletype?
Pass.
Yeah.
He gets the word that Freddie Mercury has passed, and he thought, oh my gosh. So he finds he knows what he's going to do. He finds the cassette tape. I don't know what kind, I've seen them, but.
All right, now listen, it is open phones on Friday, open Mega Mike Friday, but I don't really know where you're going with this. Can you get to it? I got a full board of calls, and this is a good way to clear out the lines. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, he puts it in, he wants to play a little about a minute of the song and then announce, turn it down, that Freddie Mercury's passed. He gets calls, angry calls. People are angry at him. What happened was the cassette tape was mislabeled. It wasn't another one. It was another one bites the dust instead of this crazy thing.
Oh, that gets you in trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a true story that you heard, or you heard somebody? That sounds like.
It's true.
Okay.
About those tapes, you actually don't hear anything.
That's a good song. Another one bites the dust. Another one bite. Another one bite. Another one bite the dust. Okay. You're on the air. What's your? Oh my goodness. It's Open Phone Friday, man. Open MAGA Mic Friday, but we have to have some quality control, I think. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Bob from Jupiter.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Steve, big game tonight.
Yeah, I've been so depressed. I've had the Dodgers in the series throughout, and they were doing so bad. I walked out of the last game figuring it was hopeless, and I thought I'd lost the whole series. I find out the game is still going as of tonight.
In Toronto tonight. So the Dodgers will take two, and it'll be over. But, did you get to see the highlight of the game with Sydney Sweeney, the close-up on her the other night?
No. Tell me about it, though. I'm a big Sydney Sweeney
fan.
fan.
Girls like that at the Star Trek convention, that's for sure. Brian's quiet. I wonder what's going on with Dizzy.
I'm waiting for something to be said that's interesting. There's nothing being said that's interesting for me to comment on. But I'll tell you what, Sydney Sweeney is a lot hotter now that we know she's MAGA, isn't she? I wasn't a big fan of hers. Then I found out she's MAGA. She's a great actress. I mean, she makes Meryl Streep look like, I don't know, like a wannabe. All right. Good luck. Yes. Oh my goodness, we were doing so well with the calls. I guess every once in a while we have to prove that they are open phones by putting terminally boring people on the air. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Hi. It's my first time calling, and I'm sorry, I'm under the weather, so if you can bear with me, I would appreciate it. I was thinking about asking you a couple of questions. Like I said, I never saw your show before, and I thought, let me call for funsies. And this is it. My neighbors, we get along, we the ladies, and we are all conservative and, Christian and American and all that. And we just talk about, topics. And I thought it'd be fun for me to get your perspective, to our next, little get together, when we drink coffee in the afternoon. Let me ask you, and again, there's no right answer here or anything. I just wanna say, hey, I asked somebody this, and he's a conservative Republican, and whatever. Let's see where it goes. What is a constitutional and honest and sound reason for wearing anything saying Trump 2028? Half of us are, military wives, and the other one are not. But they are civilians, and we are informed, and we like to just, Anyway, I just thought it would.
What is your question? Okay, another question about my hat is often this topic of conversation. What is your question about my Trump 2028 hat?
I'm not asking you like I'm attacking you. I'm asking you, what is a legit constitutional?
Oh, what's a legit? Okay, I'll tell you. It's called the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I want Trump to be president for life. I want him to run again in 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, as long as he's alive.
Part about the First Amendment and the freedom of expression, and okay,
All right, I appreciate the call. Oh my goodness, we had such a great run of calls, and now I don't know. I mean, this is it's like talking to it's like having Mark Scheinbaum on the air. Some of these callers. Anybody get that reference? Oh my goodness, I'm afraid to move. Remember Mark Alepsy? Mike, did I ever tell you about narcolepsy? Narcolepsy was a condition that people would get who were listening to the Mark Scheinbaum show. And our first documented case was Al Rantel. He was driving on the Florida Turnpike, I remember, in his Toyota Supra, listening to the Mark Scheinbaum show, and he went 25 miles past his exit. He became like hypnotized. Listening to him, he was so, I'm kidding. Yeah, he would hypnotize people that were listening to the show, and we called it narcolepsy. It happened all the time. I bet Al Knight remembers narcolepsy. Oh my good, he was his board op. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a job that must have been. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, yes.
Good morning, Steve. You know, Brian earlier said that...
Steve hates Doug.
Brian earlier said that you call Ryan cheap. Well, I think it's more accurate, like me, and a lot of conservatives, to call him frugal. You know, we don't mind spending money, but we don't like to waste money, and certainly don't like to throw things away that are in good shape. So, anyway, just...
Okay. No, Steve does calls me cheap. Steve called me cheap, said I never took him out to eat. And then remember, I took you out to lunch, Steve, and bought you soup. Remember that? You think I'm kidding? That's not a joke. We had soup. Oh, my goodness. What happened to the calls, Steve? I mean, the last 5 calls have sucked. I mean, this is just like bottom of the barrel. Oh, my goodness. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh. This is the best call we've had in 25 minutes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, my goodness. See what I mean? Narcolepsy's back, Steve. The guy's driving down the highway. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Lou, Western Pennsylvania.
Hey, Lou.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to turn this whole thing around. A skeleton goes into a bar,
Oh, my goodness.
orders a beer and a mop. Happy Halloween.
See what I mean? Did you get that joke, Mike? Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you, we're here till 9. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and I understand it is Open MAGA Mike Friday, but could you guys on the air raise the quality of the content of your calls for the last 30 minutes of the program? If you don't, now that's not a big ask. You know, we had some great calls earlier in the show. Yesterday, Steve, oh my goodness. The gigolo who's selling his blood plasma, that was a great call, that guy. But the last 25 to 30 minutes, I don't know. I will tell you, if the president tuned into the program today, I'd be embarrassed. I would really be embarrassed. If you're new to the program, I just want to say, let me speak to the audience before we break, Steve. If you were new to the program, please don't judge us by the quality of the last 25 minutes, because these are not our normal calls. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve, and we've got a full board of calls. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott on the radio, reminding you that your favorite oldies are back on the air right after 10 a.m. this morning on the True Oldies channel.
From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
How's it going?
Good, man. I can leave if you want.
No.
He just told me home.
Oh my gosh, these calls.
I heard all 5 of them. They were horrible.
It's Steve's fault. He held that terminally boring guy over through the break. That's when everything went down the dumper. I never would have held that guy over. Did you have anything in particular you wanted to go to?
We just did a show on FRS, the Florida Retirement System.
Okay.
A lot of people have been having questions about that.
Okay.
We're working with some clients to do that.
Okay, that's what school teachers, policemen, firefighters.
Municipalities. And the interesting thing is, you know what the #1 choice is? An annuity.
Okay, I'll ask you about it.
Yeah, that's cool. How you been, man?
Good. I'm going to come by after. Can you text me your address?
I will. Let me do it now.
What's the best way to get there from here? Do you
Just
go?
say military all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, just go military all the way. And then when you get across Donald Ross Road, you'll go like about a mile and a half and on your right.
Okay.
Should take you more than 12, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to Orlando from there, so it's fine.
Oh, are you really?
So.
For business?
No, I'm meeting my daughter. I'm taking her to Universal Studios this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Probably a good time to go, man. The weather's beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be like in the 50s
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, no, no.
I went to the eye doctor. I got this, and the guy was like, "Oh, you have a cold in your eye."
Yeah.
Like 3 months ago. It still keeps coming back. I just keep getting blurry and blurry in one eye, you know?
Oh, really?
So I put drops in. I don't know. I got to go back. So
Ophthalmologist?
yeah, it's such a pain in the ass. I got another condition, but it usually doesn't bother me, you know? But, you know, today you got to make sure. You never know what the hell's going on. I don't mess with the eyes. You know? We're Suite 206.
Okay. All right. All right, we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. Jupiter Joe Thomas is in studio. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
You know, you were telling me during the break, you have a lot of clients that are in the Florida retirement plan, right? And this is actually, it's a pretty good retirement plan from what I hear from it's cops, firefighters, school teachers, bus drivers like Richie, pretty much anybody that works for the local governments, right?
FRS, Florida Retirement System, is actually the 4th largest in the country. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And what I was telling you off mic was that it's an annuity. The number one choice is the pension plan, which is an annuity.
Yeah.
And the number 2 choice is an investment plan where it's like a 401k.
Yeah.
And the number 3 choice is the drop, which gives you another annuity if you want it, or you can roll that out.
Yeah.
What we do with a lot of retirees, once they retire, is we'll roll over the drop or we'll roll over the investment plan for them into another annuity, but they have more control of it. And that's what we do.
Well, you know, these retirement plans, and I think the Florida Lottery is an annuity too.
It is.
Okay. Much. You know, so the reason they're in annuities is because it's 100% safe and it generates money.
Yeah, I read some stuff on it. MetLife is actually their company, which is an insurance company. You know, these big insurance companies, they have a lot of the funds that these guys have, you know.
You know, the thing about annuities, because I tell you this every time because it's so true. I did not understand what they were till we met, and you explained them to me. And I don't know why everybody is not into this. And I know there's different types of ways to invest your money and do things and all of that. But when this is just my experience, when people are retired, okay, they don't want you're not earning money anymore. You're no longer in the workforce, so you really are not in a position to lose money anymore.
Correct.
Right? You got what you got, and I know there's exceptions to every rule, and I'll give you just some disclosure. I was talking to you the other day. There's somebody in my family, and we were talking about a retirement thing, and they know how much money they need every month to cover their big, you know, their overhead. I call the nut, you know. And I was asking, well, what do you need? What kind of annuity do you need, and how much to have this? And you told me, boom, just like that. And I think when people are retired, they know that how much they need to cover their bills, and they know how much money they want to have coming in to have a life, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's funny. People come in to me, and within 15, 20 minutes, I'll say, and here's the answer to your question. And they go, how is it so simple? Well, because it is simple. You put in a lump sum of money, and you get a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life.
And that's amazing.
Your spouse's life, too.
That's right.
And this is what the Florida retirement system does for millions of people in South Florida.
Really, what an annuity is you're giving yourself a pension.
There you go. That's exactly right.
You know, and one of my friends, I have a friend, he's so smart when it comes to money. He's one of those guys, he never made a lot of money, but he always had money because he's so smart. And, you know, when he became an empty nester, this was before I knew you, and then when you came on the show, he called me, and I had no idea. He was telling me all this stuff. He was an empty nester, and he sold his house, and he bought an annuity.
There you go.
And he's like, it's awesome. And I went to visit him, and he's like, oh, let me go out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner. He wouldn't let me pay, and because I figured, oh, he's retired now. He's like, oh, man, I got that check coming every month.
Mailbox money.
Yeah, exactly.
Every month it's coming guaranteed to the penny. You know, it's funny. You can have the biggest 401k, anybody, I'm talking about wealthy people. They have the biggest 401k in the world. $1 million. You know what they count on? Social Security. Because
that's right.
Penny, they know exactly how much it is, and so do you know with an annuity what you're going to get per month.
Well, and that's exactly right. So you know, so what happens with people when you've got an annuity, you got your Social Security, which you know, your own pension plan you've just set up, just like boom, just like that.
Right.
you're not worried every month because every month you've got that money coming. If that's the kind of annuity you want, you got that money coming in every single month.
Now, some people will say, well, I want growth. Okay, well, it's a different annuity. Or I want to leave money to my family or my wife or my kids. That's a different annuity.
Or maybe they want money once a year or something. You can do that or something.
Whatever they want. We find what they need, and then we will put together a plan.
And I have people that I know that are retired that they're not in annuities and they're in a fund or they have stocks and they have the apps on their phone and things are going good, but when they're not going good,
when it's red, it's not a good day.
And when you're retired, what am I going to do? I can't afford to lose anything. Listen, give Joe Thomas a call. The consultation is free, and Joe Thomas will put together a custom proposal based on your situation and your goals. And there's so many different types of annuities, by the way, for every different scenario. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online jupiterjoe.com. All right, Joe, take care. We'll see you next time. And all right, now we got a full board of calls. Steve, you ready? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go. I'm a little nervous. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, this is the best call we got all day. There's a conversation going on in the background. Maybe it's interesting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Lynn from Boynton, what's on your mind? He's the Democrat leader in the Senate. He's the minority leader. The Democrat leader, yeah. See, this is what you don't get. President Trump is playing these Democrats. Don't you get it? He's manipulating and paying. Like 2 weeks ago, he just paid the military salary. Got a private donation from a super rich guy to do it. You don't think he's got it? You think he's going to let people go hungry? Of course not. He's... No, they don't. I don't think so. Yeah. He's panicked. Well, no. Well, Chuck Schumer's amassed $80 million working for the government his whole life. I wouldn't say he's a complete moron. Corrupt. Yeah. No. But Steve, President Trump is manipulating these idiots. They're so stupid. You know? There's no way that, listen, when it comes to the food stamps, obviously there are millions of people that are scamming the system, but there are millions of people that don't have food in their refrigerator and cabinets. Right? There's no way President Trump's going to let people go hungry in this country. No way. Let me finish. He'll find a way to. He may find a way to fund the SNAP benefits and still keep the government shut down and let these guys look like idiots. Or they may come in with, so what's happening is the Democrat Party is discrediting itself more and more each day, and people are getting red-pilled every day. CNN, they've had multiple polls this week on CNN that the majority of Americans blame Democrats for the shutdown. So this shutdown has been the greatest victory we've had since President Trump won re-election last year. I mean, this pathetic talking point, I got a bunch of callers with it today that Schumer and Hakeem and all these idiots are saying, oh, tax breaks for billionaires, but not for the bit. I mean, that sounds so stupid to even say. Yeah, all right, take care, call. Appreciate the call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, once, twice. Okay, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. Once, twice. All right, we're getting a run on your friend Steve. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Jessica. Well, listen, this is what you got to understand. A lot of people that are new to the program, they've never heard a conservative before, like that particular guy you're talking about, okay? He's a MSNBC watcher. The things he said are right out of the mouth of the people on MSNBC. He's never been exposed to conservative thinking before. Yeah, and that's his reality are all those stupid things that he said. Let me tell you, Stephen Colbert, that's right. You know, Stephen Colbert, the best thing that happened to him was getting taken off the air, right? They took him off the air, but they kept him on another year. He signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. He just signed a deal with Paramount. He's going to be the voice. He's going to be on the new Star Trek television show that's coming out next year. It's been a boom he's made several multi-million-dollar deals that I'm aware of. It's like he won the lottery on this. So and his stupid followers think he's some kind of victim. Listen, we got to run for our break. Do we have any recorded spots this break? Yes. Okay. Let me take the gold report first. All right. Let's go to the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca for the final gold and precious metals report of the month. William Youngerman, how the metals looking? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, yesterday you were telling us about some good deals on. How's the 90% silver looking today? That's amazing. And I love 90% silver. And can you tell people what that is? Because I want, for those that don't know, I want them to know what an incredible value this is. Yeah, I've never heard you give a price like that on any of the metals, and it is silver, and it's really awesome, and it's fun to collect too. I got to tell you, I like the Franklins, guys. I know that's just my thing. Now, when it comes to gold, what are some of the great buys on the 1 ounce gold coins right now? All right, listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can call, again, he opens up at 10 a.m., so call after 10. 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and find both his phone number and address online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday. All right, we'll be right back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve King Show. This is Mark Laporta, son of Tom Laporta, proud second generation owner. As a military veteran, served in the Army after 9/11. Proud same dedication and discipline to our family business. I Laporta family. We've been serving our community for nearly 4 decades. We're committed to continuing our legacy of excellence. Our team specializes in all types of roofing systems, from shingles to tile, slate, metal, and flat roofs. We're the go-to experts for single-family homes, HOA communities, and condo associations. What sets us apart is our unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction. I've personally implemented systems to ensure you receive the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for a free roof inspection. Call us now at 954-60.
All right.
Or visit us at laportaroofing.com. Trust the experts who've been protecting homes like yours for generations. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals at any time. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Stevens here. You back, Steve? See, I know you're into the silver. Did you hear what he said? You get the 90% silver for under the silver spot price. Next time you should ask. Next time you go over there, have him show you some of the 90% silver. You can get it like in $50. You'll love it at these prices. They're like giving it away. All right. Before we go back to the phone, I just want to quickly talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Tomorrow is November. It's holiday season now, right? Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas parties, New Year's, everything going on. You know, and I know each year at Thanksgiving is the first time it happens. I see people I see once a year, or maybe I haven't seen in 10. And this year I'm going to be, well, much less of a man than I was last Thanksgiving because I've lost so much weight. It's absolutely amazing, Steve. You know, it's amazing to me how much weight. I mean, I'm wearing pants that I haven't been able to wear like in 10 years or more sometimes. You know, these pants that stopped fitting me, I just put them in the back of my closet. And I've got like it's like I got a whole new wardrobe of old clothes that I haven't worn in years. And my results are typical. All right, call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. We have listeners from all over the United States that have called Coastal Weight Loss Secret and have lost literally a ton of weight. Call, I'm going to give you the number and schedule your no-charge consultation and be so much thinner than you were last Thanksgiving, last Christmas, last Hanukkah, last New Year's. 561-247-6300, 561-247-6300, and online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead. Yes, Joan.
Oh, can I get some clarity from you because I'm not super smart on this nuclear option thing. Nuclear option, yeah. When did it come into play in the past? And I know they could go with less votes, but I mean...
They have all these ridiculous Robert's rules of crap, okay, to make things not happen. Where on a lot of things they can filibuster, including this budget, right? So you have to have a 60-vote majority. And when they say the nuclear option, it means they can pass things with just 51 votes. And Schumer did this when he was the leader on multiple occasions when Obama was president. I don't remember what the issues were, but I remember him doing it. And what they're going to start to say today, because this is going to be talked about, they're going to say, well, if we do the nuclear option, the Democrats will just do it. J.D. Vance at the Turning Point, he said, the Democrats are going to do what they do anyway. So we're not going to not do something because the Democrats might do it when they're back in power, if that ever happens. You know, if they come in with the nuclear option, think about this. If President Trump comes back with a nuclear option and feeds millions of people this weekend, what a hero he'll be.
Bad spot. There's no question. It's lose-lose for the Democrats.
Okay, so Brian,
it's only a question how long.
Brian, you said that that Schumer used it when Obama was...
A couple times, at least twice. I remember it happening, yeah.
Okay, so why didn't they make a big deal about it then?
It was made a big deal. That's why I remember it happening.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
See, yeah. It's just, well, you know, we're talking years ago. Obama was president we're talking like 15 years ago, right? when these things happen. It's been a long time.
I'm almost 70. I've been around.
Yeah, but you forget about things in the news. I mean, I don't even remember what the specifics bills were. And I remember Schumer with that grin on his face, that elections have consequences attitude. Well, we're in the majority, so screw you. Well, we're in the majority now, Schumer.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate the call, Joan. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, Matt.
My wife saw something about the auto pen, and they're saying that a lot of the things that were used with that are not now.
There's a congressional committee that is put some referrals through on it, and the Justice Department's looking into invalidating pardons with the auto pen. Correct. Yeah.
I'm just wondering how that's going to play out. I don't know if Hunter is part of that or not.
No, Hunter's pardon, they know, was not signed by the auto pen. It was actually signed by Joe. See, this is what's going to happen. They've been interviewing people behind closed doors that were using the auto pen, and they were signing things without his authorization. Heck, they may have been getting paid to get pardons. These people, you know what I mean? So. And these are people who aren't famous household names, so they don't get special protections. They'll go to prison. But see, what I'm curious about beyond the pardons or like military actions, they may have used the auto pen to order military strikes without Biden even knowing about it. That means they murdered people.
Well, anyway, I just thought I'd find out what you knew about it.
Yep, it's great. It's all great. All right, well, thanks for the call from Lake Worth. Awesome. Lake Worth, by the way, has one of the best beaches in Florida, believe it or not. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Stephen Bryan, JJ from Matt.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, Steve. If you're, just thinking about the Democrats, they'll take any well-meaning program and corrupt the hell out of it to benefit themselves in any way possible. They'll use it as cover. And for a business or a state or a city, say like New York City, if your city economy, if it's based on subsidized labor, subsidized revenue like SNAP, and your representation is also subsidized by illegals on the census, and that stuff disappears, you're screwed. Your business fails. And I just think about these guys shooting themselves in the foot, because in New York City there's about 8.5 million people, and there's about 1.8 million people on SNAP. That's basically 1 in 5. That's like 20% of the city. If that goes away, I mean, these guys are, I can't believe they must want to have riots, but I think it's all for naught, because I think Trump is going to.
Well, listen, JJ, we're running short on time, but look, he's rid these. They have made almost 2,000 arrests in Memphis, Tennessee, with the feds and the National Guard, Blue City. These blue cities. First, Trump rid them of crime, and then he brought them food.
Democrats can be this stupid. Is there something we're missing? Because I just can't see. They're idiots. Is it really? Are they this?
No, I think they've always been idiots. The Democrats. They've always been idiots. They're just finally exposed now. It's because every other Republican before Trump always caved before it got this far. This stupid line, 40 million are going to starve to death, for tax cuts for billionaires. 10, 12 years ago, that would have worked, because the Republicans would have caved. So President Trump called their bluff, and they look like what they've always been. Idiots.
The problem, Democrats, is it's been a mismatch from the beginning, and every day that goes by, the discrepancy in abilities between the two parties becomes more evident.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and I tell you, we're almost out of time, but I tell you, I feel like Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window. We had the homeless guy in front of the cars. Look what's going outside now, Mike. Look what those two are doing. Look what those two are doing out there. They're going to be doing what those people were doing in the parking lot outside the, something's going, oh yeah, Steve, if you saw what was going on outside the window at the radio station, you would, oh yes. This is going to be a great weekend of what a 5-second comment, I didn't say what's happening outside. There's something happening. There's something happening, I'll tell you that. All right, listen, there's only one opening on the board, but we are out of time. So no more calls for today, but if you hold on, you'll be first in line Monday morning at 6 a.m. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane's been here. My name's Brian Craig. We'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m. All right, guys. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? And I'll see you guys over the weekend. Take care.